good players will find a way. They're going to put up with it. Soju's still going to stream 30 hours, right? Dishsoap's still going to climb in rank 1. It's like, let's let these things, mechanics, excite the players, because that's when TFT dies. It doesn't die when NA gets 2 fewer slots than Brazil and LATAM. It doesn't die because, tournament viewership isn't climbing and people watch Soju stream more. TFT dies when people stop having fun, more than anything else. Hello, everybody, and welcome back for another episode of Don't Talk If You Don't Know, the official podcast dedicated to covering all things competitive TFT in North America. My name's Frodan. I am your host, and this is episode 58, the Golden Spatula preview. We're previewing regionals. If you guys don't know what Golden Spatula is, that is the name that Riot has chosen to call regionals. And we got a star-studded lineup once more for what should be our final regionals episode, at least for the foreseeable future. I'm your host, Frodan. Joins me, as always, is Bryce, Esports Law Blum. Bryce, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing. Good week. I'm sure almost everyone here knows, but whoever doesn't know, I'm leaving TFT. This will be my last TFT event, at least for a while. I to still be around and see people, if the Open comes back to Vegas next year, for example, I have to imagine I show up, but in general, I probably won't be playing or casting TFT anymore. So it's been a week for a lot of reflection, right? I wrote that statement and I kind of sat on it for a little bit, and then I think it was ready to go. I think the timing was right. So been a lot of a lot of time with my feelings this week. A lot of time thinking about what I was going to say, saying it, reacting to it being out there, reacting to people saying things to me. It's been, the outpouring of love has been really incredible. I mean, it just triples down on everything I said in the statement. The TFT community is truly amazing. Everyone's been so supportive, so appreciative for, my contributions, what they were. And it's been cool. I'm glad that this is going the way that it is. It's nice to feel like I'm getting some closure to this chapter, because it has been such a big part of my life. And the show has been such a big part of that. So this episode, and then my last ever TFT thing being the set wrapped episode in a couple of weeks, that feels very fitting to me.
All right. We'll actually talk a little bit more in depth about that in a sec, but man, that's a hard one to follow. But we also have a returning guest. We got K3 Soju. Soju, what's up, buddy? How has your past couple of weeks been?
Oh, it's been good. I don't know if I streamed today because I had to do some progressive ad, but either way, when you don't play TFT, I feel like my mental is much better. Yeah, I've been having fun playing League, Slay the Spire, Val. Yeah.
How good are you at League now? I heard that you're almost Challenger.
Oh no, but that's Flex Q. That's fake. I'm Diamond. I'm almost Diamond 3 in solo queue. And the thing is, I'm not saying Diamond is impressive, but bro, I started in Iron. You can't put that many hours into the game.
How many games do you have?
70. But I climbed from Iron. Me and Setsuko these guys are getting mid and jungle giga gapped. It's just every game it's just a mid jungle king.
Wait, what's your win rate?
Oh, it's not good because the thing is, okay, we win too much, so we start off rolling, and then we get tilted because we're trash, and then we go back to our on roll. Yeah,
I see. Okay, well, it sounds like you're having fun with League of Legends, but we're here to chat about TFT, and I guess it's really interesting because usually we have Soju on because he's competing, but because it's going to be one of our last episodes, we kind of figured that Soju helped start the show. Yeah, and so it feels like pretty appropriate to have him help wrap up a lot of things.
It's literally his branding. He said a thing, and we were like, that's perfect for what we're trying to do, and we just yoinked it, and he was cool with that.
Also, because I think we need one more time to see if Soju can beat Bryce at Fantasy Draft.
He did the last time, you know that? It was the first time.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
He's on a one draft winning right now.
He's on a one.
He's still 1-4 against me all time. If you count the set 5 one where it all kind of began when we did it impromptu. And we tried to bet a bunch of money, and then Riot was like, "No, you can't do that." And we were like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Okay. Also join with us, special guest is Dishsoap, the reigning world champion. Dishsoap, welcome to the podcast once again. I feel like we just kind of do podcasts now.
Yeah, what's up? Feeling good. We released a new episode of the other podcast you can go watch after this. Study Hall.
Oh, amazing.
Go check it
Yeah,
out.
Frodan's other podcast is getting plugged on this podcast. He didn't even have to do it.
It might as well, man. People, there's no
So
time.
good.
They name
No,
one other
sure.
TFT podcast, Bryce.
No, listen, it's great product. I really enjoy it. So everyone should check it out.
Agreed. All right, let's go ahead and get things started. And we always transition to talk about the news. And we'll talk about the first piece of news, which I think, let's just go ahead and address it, which is Bryce has declared that he is retiring from TFT. A lot of words, a lot of hard-sell words, specifically about the sentiment of the community. And this is probably basically in tandem of us formally announcing on the show that we are sunsetting, or at least going on hiatus indefinitely for Don't Talk If You Don't Know. And that also means the entirety of the product with it. So as you guys know, we also didn't bring back EMEA. Also, we're not doing any power rankings moving forward for set 13 onwards. We're going to wrap up this episode because, this is still important to have finality to it. And there's a couple of reasons behind why the show won't continue without Bryce. But I will say that the show is really different without you. I tried running it the past season or so, kind of having you loosely associated with it while you're doing a bunch of responsibilities, and it just wasn't the same. And we could continue it. There are some people who offered to step into Bryce's role, but the way I was comparing it was having The Office without Steve Carell, or Michael Scott. Just felt like the show's identity would shift too much and to be too anchored on me trying to, I guess, be Dwight Schrute in this sense. So,
Bro, there is no world in which you're not Steve Carell. Are you fucking kidding me? It's on your channel. You're the face of it. I appreciate the sentiment, though.
But I was just liking it to I don't want the show to just go on and then just kind of be this not interesting version of it. So I figured just go out while things are still good and while we're having a good time. So, but back over to you, Bryce.
Maybe it comes back. Maybe it comes back
No,
eventually.
you need to bring this back. I feel. I mean, I've watched all of them. I feel like most of the people that compete in these tournaments, at least that I've seen, watch all of these, and it's been a really fun, cool resource that it's not really done anywhere else. So, I mean, I'm hoping it can come back in some way in the future. But
when is
I'm
Bryce
sure.
unretiring?
This guy needs to win the lottery.
I do. If I had infinite money, I could do it. But at this point,
Soju's been running some progressive ads. Power up.
that's true. Very good.
Power
Soju.
up.
I'm all for the Soju. If you want to cover my salary, then I'm back, baby. Let's do this.
Oh
thing.
no, I'm good. You can stay retired. I'm good.
But the way I see it is it's pretty simple. I only get so many skill points to allocate. I have far fewer of them right now, right? So either my job needs to demand less of my time or my family does, and I don't think my family is going to demand less of my time anytime soon. So job's really the only lever. And if that changes for me, then I'll be back because I love it here. But if it doesn't, then I won't be able to.
How realistically,
I honestly, I don't know how long.
how realistically could that change though? If you were just, I know obviously you can't set any date, but is that something years down the road? Because this is not something that's going to change in months, right? Because you wouldn't make a big statement if it was something you could come back next year.
Yeah, I would say the chances that I am back, for real, in the next 5 years is really low. Well under
5
10%.
years. Oh, Soju's gonna be dead by then from doing too many.
Yeah, I
30
know.
hours.
That's the thing. That's why I made the statement, because the chances I'm back like that for that period of time, or in the same way, really long time. But if the question is, what are the chances that at some point in the next 5 years I take a sabbatical, and on that sabbatical I play a set for real just to have the life experience and see what happens? I think the chances of that are a lot higher. I don't know exactly how high that is.
Okay.
So I would say if I'm back, it'll be for a set. And that would probably be the beginning and end of it.
Okay. I want to go to Dishtub. Dishtub, you actually tweeted something to Bryce. I didn't have a screenshot of it, but you said people on the outside don't know how good he, in this case Bryce, could actually be. I VOD review with a handful of really good TFT players, and Bryce was by far one of the most insightful. We spent hours reviewing after each day during the past regionals, and I want to say it's a big reason those were the first two I made the final day of. I'm down for you to win the largest you can make study group in other sets.
Oh yeah, I
can you
mean, I
elaborate
was
that?
doing a little bit of reverse glazing because he's been doing it to me for so long. But I mean, most people I feel would not consider a caster to be extremely knowledgeable on this stuff. Maybe they would, but I can tell you from first-hand experience, he knows the game. He knows the fundamentals very well. he might not be like always 100% up to date on every single little micro thing, but that doesn't really matter. You can still learn a lot from talking to people like that, and I did. Past 2 regionals, I did VOD review with them and helped out a lot. It wasn't even like just before the regionals, it was like after every day. And then I like improved on small things about my game throughout that.
I did the same thing with Soju Set 7 regionals. And I will say
and that's the regional Soju's made the world championship.
it was.
It wasn't a Bryce diff, relax.
It was not a Bryce diff. And I don't think, to be clear, I think Dishsoap's being too kind. I don't think it was a Bryce diff there either. I think the reality, I will always cherish that time because it was really different. Like, regionals is the only set, or only tournament of any set that I'm even close to being a knower, and I'm still missing a lot of the little stuff. So, like, earlier I'm missing basically too much of the little stuff. But if I catch up enough on the little stuff, then I think I can add value in the bigger picture of play. And that was so fun. I think that like both Dish Soap and Soju they played better TFT as these events went on average. Like Soju day 1 of Set 7 regional Soju, I don't know if you remember this, but I feel like your day 1 play was like okay, but I feel like you scaled up infinitely harder than the other players that tournament. You learned so much off of what they were doing, and so by the time like day 3 rolled around, it felt like you were pretty close to low roll proof.
Oh, I don't remember.
How can you not remember? I feel like I would for sure remember.
He's
that
lying.
tournament.
He remembers.
No, that was like 2-3 years ago or 2.
You don't remember the first time you qualified for Worlds, like how it went down?
No, I remember the final day. I just sitting there playing Shioyu every game, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think yeah.
Okay, the difference
But I
between
don't
that
remember
and
what it
Dishsoap is Dishsoap remembers like every round of every game of his world championship win. Man, I guess because it happened like 2 months.
I mean that's like way more recent.
Yeah.
But I mean, also,
I don't
yeah.
remember.
I mean, you won Worlds. Wow, I went second at regionals. I didn't even win regionals.
But like it was still a big deal. I'm not even sure. Do people care about winning regionals? Did winning regionals, like the act of winning regionals, was that important to you?
Oh, like for sure. But I mean, I definitely wouldn't care. I mean, I would care, but I would care a lot less about winning this regionals, for example.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
do it the first time.
Wait, when you are you like trying to win regionals or like are you just trying
I mean,
to?
why not? Oh,
Isn't it
like the only thing to play for this regionals is to win?
right? But like, let's say you're not auto qualified to Worlds. Would you not value a third place as much, like nearly as much as a win, or like?
I mean, like that kind of happened. I like the set I went to Worlds, I went like 5th, but it was enough because of
Right. So like you
slots.
didn't count. You were like disappointed that you went 5th.
yeah. I was like a little low key disappointed, but like happy I made it back.
Okay.
No, because I felt like I didn't play the best on the final day, and I got like okay, you literally just didn't have to go like dead last that tournament.
Yeah,
It was just whoever didn't go. It was just whoever didn't go 8th mid to Worlds.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
That was like one of the weirdest days of TFT that I can remember. Actually,
It
was like
was.
weird to watch the final day and just know everyone was qualified, and it was just like, oh, please don't be the last person standing at the end.
Yeah, I went to Worlds after going like 5-5-5, 4-2 or something.
I mean, you could be Wasian, who literally averaged like a 6.5 in match.
Yeah, Wasian went like 8 in mid worlds that day. It was wild.
It's like the ending of the Hunter exam, where like only one person doesn't get their license, and so it was like the one guy from Brazil who just doesn't go to Worlds. Poor guy. I kind of wanted to deviate just a little bit off of like kind of the script here because we have like news, we have like the fantasy draft, we got a bunch of agrees. Bryce drove a lot of the parts of the show, but I wanted to just like throw this right now to Soju, which is I think a lot of people are wondering where your head's at when it comes to the competition because we're used to having you on the show because you are in regionals, and this set. I personally thought that you were really good this set, but I felt like you just, kind of got format tilted and then like lost motivation. But I kind of want to know where your head's at when it comes to competitive TFT. Is this something that you're just doing on the side and like your stream's your main focus? Are you still like really trying hard and like people aren't seeing the work? And as a result, it's like easy to underestimate like the amount of preparation you're putting in. I think people want to know a little bit more about that.
Okay. I mean, I like competing. It's just, I mean, how much time do I have? Am I just gonna sit here and rant, or
Yeah,
We have really nothing else to do except talk.
Okay, this is the most yap-friendly show in existence.
Yeah.
Just go.
like TFT is a great game, and like I really do enjoy competing. And it's like I mean I wouldn't not stream if it's not for the competition, right? Because it's like as soon as there's no more competitions, there's no reason to even be somewhat decent at the patch. But I think this set is like I think after experiencing EWC, I think like Milk is kind of the same, and TT is kind of the same as well, and Setsuko's kind of the same. I mean Setsuko's banned, but either way. I think 4v4 is actually I think the entry to 4v4, so I kind of see like where the other like side is, where the entry to 4v4 is way too high, so it's not going to be the main format, but it really should be the main format. And the reason I say that is because even if the patch is completely trash, 4v4 saves it because no matter how trash it is unacceptable to contest your teammate. And the thing is, let's say the meta is 20 out of 20 Syndra in solo queue, which it is, because I tried to play some solo queue for prep. And that was just worthless. There's just 7 players, fast 8, Syndra every game. And like I don't know what you're supposed to do. Like the value in 4v4 is trying to like sneak placements from the shitter lines. Like Kalista on that patch was not that good. I mean Karma was good, but there can only be one Karma player. Sometimes you can have 2 Karma players because there's a Tempo Syndra. But either way, 4v4 there's a lot of depth to it, and it really should be in the main format. And after kind of getting exposed to that, I just don't know if. Like, okay, the thing is, like, I'm not saying I played well. Like, I did not play well, but it's just like, it's also this ladder snapshot. I don't know what Riot Games is cooking. If you were to look at the players that qualified to regionals from snapshots, they have a maximum of 13 games per week. They just play their 10 games and they just dip. I'm not trying to play in gold in Fast 9 every game and make my ult account. Bro, I'm just going to play on my main. Let's say you hit 1700. You're going to sit there, play 10 games, and if you're at 1650 and you're like rank 5, okay, that's good enough. Time to sit another 2 weeks. Why don't they just make it your peak throughout the entire week of competition? Or like the entire week of solo queue?
Would you be opposed to I've been pushing for a minimum game threshold way higher for a long time. Like, hey, obviously you don't have to play this many games as you could toss out a week, but what's the number of games you think would be reasonable? I'm asking both of you guys. Is 30 games a week reasonable to really push people? 25 games a week?
No. I think it should be like I don't think it's res minimum and keep sitting. I think you just make it 10 games minimum and then add and then track the peak. So you can't just sit like on one rank like forever, but like you still have to play 10 games, but it's just your peak. So you're like still incentivized to play more.
Basically, people get ahead of you, then you have to play more.
Yeah.
Like 1650 with it being your peak is not actually going to be a rank 5. It's going to be like a rank like 10. And you can't just sit there on rank 10 like 10 times in a row. But like I'm not saying the players are bad. Like bro, Spencer is good. Like I mean, I think Dirso has it from
Dirso, Philip, Bruce.
Yeah, like they're not bad players. It's just I think they would all agree that they're going to sit there and just not play games.
No, I mean no one likes sitting. Like literally no one.
No one. They don't even like it themselves. It's just a free ticket to regionals. But either way, like if that like the format is just needs some improvement. I think this just needs some. But also I think I got kind of burnt out like this set just because I think for EWC it was like I hate traveling. Yeah. I mean, and then I came back and then I streamed like 20 hours a day for like a good month and a half, and then that also burned me out. But I've been having fun playing League. But either way, I really think even though maybe they can introduce like a 4v4 like circuit or something, or I don't know. But
there's a 4v4 event happening in Macau. If you get one.
But the thing is, it's like no one's playing. Like no one's actually prepping for that.
You want it to be the main thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now. Okay, so we can put a pin there because I want to respond to a few things. But the first thing that I want to say is that the person, I guess, digitally sitting on your left doesn't agree with you. Disop actually has spoken out many times that doesn't think 4v4 should be that prominent, at least not take over as the format.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like a lot of the time people that like 4v4 like just want to like, it feels like they just want to get rid of the solos, which I think is just like not a good thing. I'm all for 4v4 events happening way more frequently. I think they're really fun, but I don't think it should be the main thing, and I don't think it should like replace it personally. That's just how I feel.
I mean, I think solos should still be a thing. It's just
I think it's just that
Yeah.
team events are personally more fun to you, Soju. It seems like you've always done well in them. You've always had fun in them. You love like playing with your friends, picking your friends in fantasy drafts, etc. Just kind of like the energy you like to game for gaming.
Oh yeah, I mean, souls are also fun. Like, it's not like I don't enjoy playing TFT. It's
It's just less fun.
Yeah.
Which is
I mean, if you load in with Setsuko and Milk, like, you cannot not have fun. So
Sure. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so just so I understand, it's basically functionally, you felt like your enthusiasm for competition, at least for the solos, this set has largely waned because of your exposure to EWC. Next set, you're going to be competing in Macau, right?
oh yeah. Also another thing is this set has I'm not saying that the set is bad. I think this set has been like one of the best sets. I actually really like Charms. And I think that a lot of people kind of I think I heard it from most of you guys as well that like the set's good. Like I think the charm mechanic is really good. But like, bro, the set balancing, it's just, I feel like it's been the same patch for a decade. And then also, I just wanted to point out, how is Double Down still not griefable? Explain that to me. Like, if someone opens on Double Down, how are they still getting 4 gold?
Because
I don't know.
it technically counts as like a loss. Like they both lose, but they tie, so it like resets the streak, but not the outcome of losing.
So the thing is, like, that used to be the same thing with Fortune. Like you would still keep your loss streak with Fortune even if you tied.
Yeah, but they
but
removed that like early though.
Yeah, they changed Fortune specifically and then just left the Double Down and what doesn't kill you the same, as in they get their bonuses on tie regardless. So I feel like they just kind of like forgot or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that my take that I've been saying basically for the past week and a half is that I think the set had a ton of potential, but I think the balance really kind of made it pretty lackluster of a set for me overall. Like I gave it like a mediocre score as opposed to like what could have been like a really, really high score. I mean, you have some players who like permanently complain about things like mechanics getting in the way, like Milk even saying that he really loves these kinds of mechanics, or rather he really likes Charm as a mechanic. And so I think it had all the potential to be there. But I think personally for me as well, I think overall the balance has been kind of a big miss. And I think that's spoiled a lot of set 12, which is kind of a shame because I feel like it's my favorite mechanic since like Augments.
It's definitely, just on paper, it's not even close. I mean, I'm pretty sure all the other ones were like bad to very bad, so it's not exactly a super high bar in my book, but it seems like this was like good, like legitimately a good set mechanic that would have been very interesting to play around if the trees were more fluid and it was like if the balance was better, basically.
I don't really know if I'm trying to be contrarian, but like I feel like the set's mid to me because I think Charms are mid. Like I don't know.
Interesting.
I feel like
Is there a
like-
set
like
mechanic
they're
you
neat,
like
but
better
there's
than
not-
Charms? Out of curiosity?
I mean, when like Augments was considered a set
Oh,
mechanic,
sure,
not
sure.
really, but I guess not. I mean, I think that I think the highs of Headliner are way higher than the highs of Charm, like way fucking higher. But like overall, it's probably more negative than Charms. That would be the only thing that's close for me.
Since Augments?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. And I'm guessing you're not a big fan of like Hero Augments and Legends and...
Oh no.
Okay.
Really.
A lot of
I
people
also
are
think-
really
I
sick of
think-
portals, by the way. I think people feel like...
Portals
there's-
are- I don't know. I don't like portals that much, but like a lot of time it just doesn't matter. So you just get to ignore it.
Okay. All right, never mind. All right. Well, we have the patch here. We could talk about the patch a little bit more, but I mean, I feel like for the most part, I guess I want to just get a good sense of how Disup is feeling going to regionals itself, because Soju's not competing in it, but you are. Do you feel like prepped and ready to go heading into regionals week?
Oh yeah, I feel pretty good. And if I don't feel good, I have the best excuse, and I have more time to get better. So that's the best. But I like it might be a bad sign because like the fast tournaments I actually didn't really feel that confident going into it, but like now I do feel kind of confident. So it's a little weird.
So one thing that's actually happening, and I'm actually curious to hear a little bit about it from both Soju and Disup, is that there's a little bit of a new dynamic happening in North America where people scrim and they hide their profiles. They're very private about it. And it's actually creating a dynamic where people feel like less connected to players. They just like feel like they just feel like they're like not hyped for it. They're not excited for it. They can't see insights into the players. I'm not allowed to respect them. I'm trying to respect that rule. I spectated a bunch of EU scrims this week, basically. I feel like I know the EU plays way better going to regionals than NA. And I kind of want to hear from the player's perspective because you're in those scrims. So talk to me about it. Do you think that, one, this is like something that will continue to happen? And two, do you think it's actually like as beneficial or like as important to do if you're a top level player?
It will continue to happen because it's kind of just like a good thing to do. The thing is, like, the thing I don't really like about it is I feel like it's fine to show your own POV. Like if you want to like build an audience and then like do all that stuff and like prepare with like everyone else, it's fine. Like I feel like you're not really gonna leak other people's tech by like playing in their game, showing your own POV that much, because you'll show what like boards they're playing, but you're not going to show like every single micro decision they're making, and that stuff is usually what matters at the highest level. So I kind of don't agree that like they should just be banning streaming, but I mean I'll respect the rules of the group because like the no stream group is by far I think the best practice group there is. It's not like just this set; it's been going like since like set 10.
Do you remember when we did the regionals prep tournament where Precedent promised that you would pay a prize pool?
Yes.
But then you didn't actually do that. So then Toronto Tokyo stepped up. You guys skied Toronto Tokyo at $500. But like that was a tournament that I think people enjoyed because we watched the mock tournament. People got a lot of hype into it. Why can't stuff like that come back?
Oh, I just don't think people are like I just don't think people are interested, or at least the people like prepping are just not interested in that stuff. And like maybe they should be, but
I know. I think they would be interested if they're not required to stream their perspective. I mean I agree with you. I think if you're streaming your own perspective, like you have not like you're like it's the people in your lobby are not going to get their tech stolen. I feel like there's you're only leaking your
like
own.
I feel like I should be allowed to grief myself and like stream.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I agree. I think if you're streaming, the only thing, yeah, I don't know. It's not like someone's just gonna bust out some random ass line and just.
I think the other people in the lobby, it's pretty straightforward. There's no upside for them. Like Dish Soap, like if you're the person streaming, there's real trade off. You're choosing to leak all your tech to the world in exchange for like audience and content, right? But for the other people, it's like, well, if anyone else is gleaning anything from this, then why would I want this to happen? It's bad for TFT, but like strictly game theory optimal for those people. I get it.
I feel like it's difficult too when players complain that there's not a lot of hype going to tournaments, and these are things that I feel like are actually actively working against that as well. Regionals week used to be really exciting, and now
it was so fun.
It's not actually. I think regionals week is actually kind of flat. I'm trying my best to try to pile it on, but I'm more invested in the EU players because I like know their playstyles. I know what they're trying to do. I see their tech, but like I have nothing going for NA. I'm worried I'm going to be like completely off base of evaluating things.
Do you think we could I feel like if there was a prize pool for it, then people would be willing to do it and say, you don't have to stream your POV, right? But you have to give us the ability to like spectate.
Well, they do, but then the problem is I'm also creating content around it. So
I don't think they care about the prize pool. I'm pretty sure they're just going to play just because they want to compete.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair too.
That's true. Also, there is one thing too, is that they're also denying some people into scrims. Like Rob is in chat. How do I get into these scrims? I know like Degree couldn't get into some of these scrims. One thing that's sort of become like, it's actually some drama, but like some players are just straight up not allowed to play in these scrims, period. And I don't know the reason why, but all I've been told is that they're being walled out.
I mean, I mean, I'm not to just rat if you don't. I can just give a little example of what's going on.
Sure.
So let's say there's a scrim Discord that there's 20 players in it, and there's like 10 EU players and 10 NA players. They don't want to invite other EU players because they don't want the other EU players, like the good players that they think are good, to get the prep. So then they tell Precedent like, oh, we need one for this lobby, and the Precedent's like, oh, I can get one. And then Precedent, he just goes, oh yeah, I don't want to invite. I mean, I'm not going to say the name. I don't want to invite X and Y. Let's just get Phoenix and Spencer in here. And they invite Phoenix and Spencer, and he knows that they're not going to get any prep because he's just been playing League. Like, Phoenix has just been playing League with me, and Spencer's just been playing League and Val and all that stuff. So, like, it's like for the people that are in your own regionals, like, you want them to get less prep. So, like, if you don't, like, unless Robin goes to, like, hey, can you invite me to the scrims? Robin's not going to get an invite. But if he asks, like, Precedent, hey, can you get me into these scrims? I don't think Precedent's going to say no. But, like, he gains nothing from actively, like, trying to help Robin out, if that makes sense.
Oh,
It's true,
Pigot
it's
not
true.
being here is so brutal because they were literally the 15 minutes before you called us, Dan. They were on call having this argument where Soju's basically giving him shit and Pigot's responding and saying that's not true at all. And so then Soju's off to the show and just immediately gives his POV because Pigot can't defend himself.
Wait, really? Oh, I mean, that's my POV. I mean, I thought he was ratting, but maybe not. I don't know.
From what I understand, I don't think it's him specifically ratting, but I believe there is a fair amount of ratting.
I think people are picking on
that's
Precedent because he's like the
so
most
that's-
active out of all the NA players that are screaming with
Oh,
you.
yeah.
So they kind of almost like de facto pick him. Like I remember, I mean, because the reality is when people ask me how do I get into scrims, I actually just say ask Precedent. So I think people just assume that he's like the ringleader, even though I think what's happening, from my understanding, is that it started off with, I think, CanBiz and their group, right? Coco, CanBiz, like the very top French players, like the top EU players. They want to keep it as like a smaller group. And they invited Precedent because they think he's a good practice partner. And I think that's where Soju developed his POV. So,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if Precedent's actually, according to him, he claims otherwise. Bryce, you're the lawyer.
My client is innocent.
Allegedly,
My client is innocent.
allegedly blocking and ratting out, but that's apparently allegedly. So,
I mean,
either
I'd like the thing is, it's super ratty, but I don't think it's gonna change because, like, if you didn't know, the final lobby of Last Worlds, I think like 6 of them were in the group, and this was like a group that like played before the regional started.
oh
So,
wow,
a final lobby being 6 of a scrim group is like, I feel like if that doesn't show results,
wait,
then like,
really?
well,
Let me look it up. It's so you were part of that.
yeah, it
Double
was
61.
E double Bentham. What was even final lobby? It was some of the APAC
Wait,
players.
Bintum's part? You
Oh,
guys
no,
are playing with Bintum?
It was everyone but the Chinese players. I think everyone but the Chinese players.
Wow.
In that scrim group.
Bintum, Dr. O, Double 61, Asta 1, and Dish Soap.
Yeah, I think so.
What the heck? Okay. All right. Well, either way, that's just a little bit of the drama. Guess what? We had more drama. You guys want to yap some more? Here we go. We actually have some players who got banned recently in TFT. Let me see. Do I have it? Ah, that's right. So you guys were complaining so much, right? Inconsistency this, inconsistency that. Well, they decided to actually take action against people who were account sharing. Shunga, set 7 world champion, that was the set that Soju competed in Worlds, the Dragon set, was supposedly streaming and waiting for the B patch to come out in China. And as you guys may or may not know, China gets the patch a little bit later. And so he decided to borrow an account by Zielman Cat. And Zielman Cat is a player who competes in trials and cups. And he streamed doing that. And then, of course, some people alerted it. Beppo Care tweeted about it. It got a little bit of momentum of like, okay, isn't this actually messing with competitive integrity? Because this guy's technically claiming for snapshots. And he's having like a top CM player stream, playing games. It was only a few games, but, obviously that still tampers with it. So what ended up happening was Riot decided to ban Shunga from regionals, but the problem was that they kind of did it spontaneously. He actually had like arrived at the competition, filmed a bunch of stuff, and then just got told like, go home, you're not allowed to play. And he was just like, WTF? And then what ended up happening was he retaliated. His fans actually got so mad that they started making other like Twitter accounts and reporting every other player that's also been account sharing. So they reported Flancy for account sharing, Ning Li, Here We Go, and apparently his sworn enemy, Hong Lian, who's also known as the Soju of CN, or in this case, Soju's the Hong Lian of NA. And so it started some really big ripple effect drama in China. So I kind of wanted to open it up here. Oh, actually, we also had this Careless D incidents, but this one's a little bit more stupid, which is he FF'd against Precedent during a snapshot, and you just shouldn't be doing stuff like that. So the thing is, though, Riot's going really harsh on these punishments, and actually people are getting very like scared / frustrated with like what seems to be a lack of consistency, and also if they do choose to do something, it seems to be way over the line. So Disso, why don't you talk to me first? Do you think that Riot went too far here?
I mean, to me, it just feels like obviously we can sit back here and say like, yeah, it's against the rules, don't account share, it's in their like TOS, whatever. But this has literally been streamed on like CN streaming sites, like them account sharing for like years at this point to thousands and thousands of viewers. So it's either just Riot is completely ignorant of this, or like they're not, and they're just like randomly choosing to punish. I feel like they should have just given a warning and then like anyone that like did this offense after the warning deserves a ban. But I feel like just random banning after this has been done countless times through countless sets to like such a large audience just doesn't really make any sense. It just feels like he got unlucky with how they wanted to randomly start enforcing. I feel like if you're going to start enforcing, like you just give like an announcement that you're going to start enforcing, not just like insta ban the first person that does it when you're
Bro, everyone is account sharing in China.
Yeah.
I don't know how he just randomly gets singled out.
I mean, we know how, right? Like it gets brought to their attention and they're like, oh, this isn't good. This is a violation of the rules. We have to enforce the rules. And clearly when they made this decision, they were not fully up to speed on everything that, like all the dynamics around this, right? Because that's the problem. And then once they make the decision, then they're kind of fucked because it's like, well, precedent's been established and we have to do this. I think humans should be better at admitting when they make mistakes in general. And while I deeply respect the TFT esports people and we would not be in better hands overall. I've worked with so many different esports teams, you guys, across every major esport. Some of these folks are great. Some of these folks are not that great. Somewhere in between. We got lucky. We high-rolled the esports team. It's part of why things like, Vegas and now Macau and like where they're going to take this in the future is going to be awesome. So overall, I get how this mistake was made, but like they just need to admit that this was a mistake and like they didn't understand the ramifications. Clearly, they were ignorant of the like scope of this problem. Otherwise, like at a certain point, it's like you didn't know, and because you didn't know, it now changes what the punishment should be. Like maybe if you had done this a while ago and set a precedent right away, fine. But like Dishlub said, once it's been established, especially at these stakes, someone who's literally already at regionals, you're making a decision that last minute. It's insane. It's insane that they did that. It's completely incorrect, and it's formalistic. It's like the worst version of the law. So like they should walk this back in some way. It might be too late, right? But like.
It's too late, Bryce. The regionals is almost over in China.
Yeah, I mean, that's just brutal, right? It's
too
brutal
late.
because it's a mistake they make at the last minute so they don't get to course correct. I think maybe if they had a few days to sit with it, maybe they would have course corrected. I don't know.
There's a couple things I want to say. First, I think you are a very generous interpreter. I think Riot did know this was going on, and I think they just chose to make an example out of Xunga. And there's another important distinction that it was Riot China or their China partner. It wasn't like handed down from, I don't know, like Sherman and his team. I think.
That actually makes a big difference. I didn't know that.
So I think that's one thing. Second thing is that it does feel like arbitrary because he like everyone else is account sharing, but I do think the problem is that he streamed it. I do think that's ultimately like why they chose to do it. But I do feel like that Bokeh put a target on his back. I mean, if he's in the lobby with Chinese players in Macau, this guy might be cooked. That's all I'm gonna say. I'd watch out if I was Beppo, man, because he might have poked the bear. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I do also want to say that it was hilarious. I know this is bad, but it was hilarious because Xunga went home. He watched China regionals, and then he solo camped on Honglian's POV the entire time and just shit talked him for 4.5 hours straight. And then Honglian went dead last in groups, and then he started publicly flaming Honglian. He just went straight up like villain mode. I never saw someone such a dedicated hate watcher since Rosario Pansino.
Wait, has that been translated? That would be amazing.
Yeah, no, they did. Someone posted his WeChat group where he basically said like handpicked group, handpicked meta because it's like a reroll meta. It's like handpicked lineup because Xunga got banned, like his arch nemesis. Still go dead last anyways. It's like, and he was like posting flame after flame after flame in his WeChat group. So it made for some really entertainment, a big entertainment for CN regionals.
That's epic.
All right. Okay. I think the rest of TFT should be on notice. They took a lot of actions this set, right? Setsugo got banned, Karasty got banned, Shuga got banned. It seems like, in my opinion, my read on the situation is they're not going to go back and retroactively punish people. But from this point forward, if you do anything, you should treat this as your warning. So,
for sure.
Anything that can probably tamper with the rules, just don't do it. All right. Two things real quick, and then we can move on to the rankings. One, we officially have a TFT Esports account now. It's not just going to be like tournaments tweeted on @TFT. We have something, instead of called TFT Esports, they call it Compete TFT. I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe they want to move away from the word esports, but this is basically the official esports account. It used to be just for EU, and they were doing so much a better job than everything else. So you can follow it, Compete TFT. And I think this is probably going to be like the brand that they use for a bunch of different stuff. Why are you laughing, Soju?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, he's just talking shit to T-Lides in chat.
No, nothing.
Saw your Mordekaiser, you kind of clean. Isn't he in bronze?
No, I think he just started League with it's so funny.
All right.
There's nothing like the beginning of the League journey.
Oh, okay, got it. He's like watching a little bird flap its wings.
Yeah, exactly.
The second thing is that they announced a bunch of stuff about Worlds. I'm not sure if this is interesting to you, but I want to bring up one thing that I think is interesting. Let me see if I can bring this up here. Give me a sec. I got it here. Okay. Worlds is actually going to draft groups. And this is going to be a big change to how groups were decided in the past. Before, it was like random seeding, like one APAC, one CN, one Americas. But now, players will be able to actually pick a player in their group, and that person will turn around and pick someone else. So let's say Dish Soap, or let's say Soju was the top seed in the group, and he said, Dish Soap, you trash. He picks him in the group, and then Dish Soap can turn around and be like, well, I think Bryce sucks. I'm going to pick him in the group, and then then Bryce can pick next me because I'm bad too. And that's going to go in a snake draft order. And so this will create a lot of interesting dynamics for the World Championship. And apparently I found out that this is happening at regionals as well.
Yeah.
So
Super
this
sick.
Thursday, we're actually going to have a draft to see who picks who.
Wait, Dan, can we turn that into content? I would show up on
Yes,
Thursday.
I asked for permission if I can stream the chat. Because I think they're doing it over chat channel.
Do you know when is it?
It's Thursday at 5 p.m., 48 hours from now.
Oh, 5 p.m.? Oh, that's that's Halloween. That's like trick-or-treating.
Yeah, it's actually on Halloween.
That's literally trick-or-treating time. That's like, I will be trick-or-treating from like 5 to 5:30 on Thursday.
Yeah. But from what I've come to understand, that there's a little bit of like who everyone's like picking on Latin BR, and a lot of America's players are trying to scout which Latin BR player they should pick. But
I told Presto just to pick me.
he's not going to do that.
That seems
President
very
told him who's picking.
unlikely.
Wait,
this is
gonna
going to be so toxic. I can't wait.
Noak says he wants to pick you because he doesn't want the easy lobby, and he says it's
Oh yeah. I've heard that from him as well. But yeah, I'm gonna be picking for Worlds, so I have to find the 3 weakest players. Or
okay. Your top seed
4
for
weakest
Worlds.
players. Yeah.
Okay. So are you a fan of this in general?
Wait, let's say
on like. Okay, the thing is, like, I low-key think the top seed should pick everyone in the group, not, like, the next pick.
yeah, don't pass it
Yeah.
down. Yeah, that's actually way better. You get a limited number of drafters.
Because I feel like if, like, every single person drafts the next, it's, like, kind of hard to follow, and it's not actually that entertaining to watch. Like you might, like, get someone picked early, and it's like, oh, like, this guy's, like, flaming him, but I feel like it'd actually be more entertaining if, like, everyone, like, it was, like, team captains type of deal.
I like it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, since you're already guaranteed Worlds, if you don't like someone, can you just take them out?
I mean, I'm not, but, like, yeah, maybe. But, like, I don't think anyone would actually do that. So,
Really, I feel like
technically, yes.
if you're guaranteed Worlds, I think the only person in a position to do it is the one that's guaranteed Worlds.
Well, yeah, but
I mean,
Shit,
no
why would he
one's
want to do
gonna
that?
no one's gonna do that. So.
yeah, what's the incentive to do that?
Really? I feel like if me or Precedent, I mean, not to call Precedent rad.
You wouldn't do that, and Preston wouldn't either.
Really, if I'm guaranteed Worlds and Setsuko's
don't
not
think-
guaranteed Worlds, you're telling me I'm not picking Setsuko?
Oh, picking for the draft? I thought you meant like grief them in game, like just like.
Oh no! You're just
Yeah.
griefing in the draft.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. I don't, if I was picking in this, I would just troll in the draft.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
I see.
I thought you were talking about like in game. I was like,
Oh no!
I wanted to hear your thoughts as well, Dishop, on the new format for Worlds. They're basically going to make you play 6 games on the first day and then 7 games on day 2, but you're going to cut after every 2 games. And so they're like cutting way more aggressively and trying to get to the final lobby more. So any thoughts on that?
oh, I think it's good. I didn't really think about it for like competition because usually I don't really have opinions on that until I actually play it. But I feel like cutting from that many, like the whole. I don't remember how much it was. Cutting from like all those people down to 8 is like kind of abrupt, and it's a little more interesting if like everyone's getting cut and there's like stakes on every game.
And a
Every
big,
game,
yeah, a
whatever.
big part of what they're trying to solve for is not having people who have too low of point totals in lobbies. Like they want the lobbies to feel competitive. They want everyone incentivized to play their best. Clearly, TFT gets wonky when you don't have it. So just talking about like you're griefing people at regionals kind of shit.
Yep, that is true. All right, sounds good. One more quick thing, two quick things. Oh, first, did you guys see this? Powder from Arcane will arrive. TFT set 13. Hog champ. Anyone excited for Arcane? Bat Chess?
I mean, I'm excited because I feel like they probably invested a lot into the set because of the marketing. So I'm excited like for that because it's probably going to be a really good.
That's
set.
right. So I won't be streaming tomorrow and Thursday because I'll be at the Arcane premiere. Are you coming, Soju?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Yo, bro, I'm not flying. Like,
He's traveling. What do you mean?
All right, sounds good. Dissip, are you going?
No.
Oh, okay.
what? Wait, what? Okay.
No, I thought you were getting invites. Okay, my bad. Okay, that's all.
Oh, I didn't know what it, like I knew it was going on, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was like I mean obviously it's pretty inconvenient for me to go now. So
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
like I had to go across the country. I just didn't know what it was.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right. Well, you'll at least both be at Macau. Dish Soap's gonna be there. Soju will be streaming, co-streaming it. They finally announced Dish Soap, which is great. I'm not sure what that was all about, but for some reason they kept announcing Macau and they just kept not saying Dish Soap. Like everyone, look who's gonna be there. Soju's gonna be there. Toast is gonna be there. All your favorites. They just kept not saying Dish Soap.
Yeah, no, they didn't put double there like as well. Like they just like I don't even get it.
Yeah,
It's like they built a marketing plan that was going to like do in phases and then announce like the former world champions that are there, but then not actually. They just
Yeah, but the thing is like they announced like the four world champs like in like
Oh,
the
the
first
rest
announcement,
play and LJ.
but just not like me and double for some reason. It was just strange.
that's okay. We got there. I will be also helping out Soju in the co-stream there in Macau.
You know, we have really, when you look at this list, we have really high rolled. It's by all rights, some not particularly good player should have won TFT Worlds at some point, and it hasn't happened. This list is really good. Everyone on this list played really good TFT at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the take as well that it's like almost impossible for like a truly bad player TFT to win the world championship, though.
I don't think it is.
You don't think so? Like, I feel like the way the system is with like ladders, like for a lot of people's ladder snapshots and grinding through the cups, and like it just feels like there's too many like ways for them to fail.
In 9.5, I think if Worlds was on the same regionals patch, a bad player could win. Like the 9.5 multi.
Oh, okay.
Like
gotcha.
I think a bad player could win Worlds on that patch.
Okay, got it.
And I think it depends a lot on the patch. It depends a lot on the set, like how hard someone high rolls when they do. I mean, Brosip brought it up. I wasn't gonna say it because I feel like I don't want to kick the guy for the 100th time while he's down. But I guess fuck it, the show's over, so I might as well take my last shot. Zyko almost won Worlds, Dan. Never forget that.
But people don't even know what you're
Zyko-
talking about. Like
Who's Zyko?
Soju was there and he probably doesn't even know what you're talking about.
Set 5.
Set 4.
Set 4?
Yeah, he got second because
Four.
Ramkev got third, and yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Set 4. Set 4, Zyko, the European player who actually still plays some. He was like a multi-caster's one trick, I think, a couple sets ago. So he's made it back to Worlds actually since then. But it was he should have won Worlds that set, and it was some of the worst professional TFT play that I've ever seen. It was noticeably bad at the time. And I wasn't that good at the time. So for it to be that obvious to me, he had to play really
like
badly.
it was like bad for like set 4 standards.
Yes.
Yes, it was bad for set 4 standards.
It was bad for set 4 standards.
Okay. While we're on this topic, by the way, Bryce, you're not going to Macau? You like turned down an official invite, right?
I got asked. That was when I knew. That's when I knew I was moving on. Because if I'm saying no to Macau when I'm asked to be part of it, then it's like, what am I doing, right? And I just couldn't. It's not just the time. The travel away would have been really hard, to be clear. Like it would have been a lot of time. The time zone difference, all that. But it's not just that time. I would have had to like spend a bunch of time learning the set. I'm not going to show up to Macau and not really know what I'm talking about. Just like I wasn't going to show up to Vegas. Like I wasn't, and that's way faster than I normally learn a set. People, you guys all like degen the game and you learn a set in 2 weeks. Like I need months to actually do it, to play all the fucking lines, to allocate the time. So getting ready for Vegas was a huge, huge tax on our family. And my wife just was straight up like, I'm not going to tell you not to, but I would prefer that you not to. And she's never done that before.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
In all the time of TFT. So I think she's right. I think it was fair.
Okay, well, I think it's only fair that you've been wanting to get this off your chest for some time, but
yes,
it's okay. It's actually a blessing in disguise because Bryce, when he went to Vegas to co-stream with me and Soju, did not actually have a good time because he got harassed by Soju's chat a lot and got like a 40-hour experience of what it's like to deal with Soju's chat. And Bryce is like, unleash me, Dan, for one part of the podcast episode at Soju's chat. So here we go. If any of you guys are Soju viewers, this is directly at you. Go ahead, Bryce.
Okay, this is going to be good. I'm really excited about this. Because, yeah, Dan's right. I have, like, mixed memories of Vegas primarily because of interacting with your chat. Soju, you're the most mentally resilient human alive. I don't know how you fucking deal with it, man. I could not. I literally could not. They broke me in 48 hours. And I didn't say what I wish I said at the time, which is rare for me. I should have just ripped it, but because it was your channel and out of respect to you, I was like, I'm not going to fucking do this on this guy's channel and like shit talk his chat. But you know what? I'm leaving TFT now and this ain't on your channel, Soju, so I'm just going to talk shit to your chat for a second. This chat fucking rode me for 48 hours and they did it and they were completely wrong. They were like, who the fuck is this guy? What the fuck does he know about TFT? And by the way, like, way more than you, like way fucking more than you, right? Like I promise you that. The only person in chat who had a right to talk shit to me was Wajan Iverson. If your name wasn't Wajan Iverson, I know more about TFT than you. I fucking promise. Because if you weren't Wajan Iverson and you weren't playing at Vegas, sit down and shut the fuck up. I'm higher LP than you. I've had better tournament results than you. And even if that wasn't true, I know way more about the fucking game than you. Because I'm only ever playing at like fucking 5% of my capability. You idiots. And all the shit you gave me shit about, I was fucking right about. Like, I was talking about the fact that Caitlyn's autos with the true damage spat were hitting super hard, and it was a big part of what made that line strong, and people didn't realize that for a month. Soju's sitting there talking shit to me about Broccoli's game live on the chat, or live on the channel, and I'm completely right about it. Chat's like, this fucking guy needs to shut the fuck up, like, Soju's right, blah, 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 and then Broccoli, like, got a third that game. And Soju was like, huh? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, what is this line? And I was like, this is a good line. So, long story short, fuck you.
Wow.
Wow.
Damn, he even remembered like the exact like interaction, man. I forgot about
I remember.
Caitlyn.
I remember. I love that patch. I was actually, I would have been very good at Vegas. It's more than just that I think at my peak I could be good at TFT. I actually knew what I was doing because I prepped really hard for Vegas. So I think that patch was super interesting and I think I would have been very good at it.
That's right. So yeah, random guy in chat.
All of them, random thousands of guys. If it was one guy, I wouldn't care. If it was 100 guys, I wouldn't care. It was like the whole fucking chat. It was painful. It was hard to sit there and talk about TFT for 2 days, where no matter what I said, chat was riding me. It was not a pleasant experience. That's why it stuck with me.
Soju, people are asking you to defend them.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Some of these guys are not very good. I don't know.
Oh man. I will say, Bryce, that I know what you're feeling to an extent. I also feel like I would recommend against you ever going into a streaming career if you can't handle it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%. That's the best part about this podcast is when we sat down, it was literally just Dan and I having these conversations solo, and it was like,
yeah,
there's like a couple thousand nerds out there that would actually enjoy this conversation. We might as well turn to a podcast, but it was specifically curating only the people that we would want to hang out with, basically, and talk TFT with. Because if you want to get this in the weeds on shit, you're our people. But yeah, no, in general, I could not do it. Twitch as a cesspool, I know that. I made my career. I spent a lot of time in Twitch chat. But being on the firing end was a life experience that I'm glad I have. So thanks for that, Soju.
All right.
And it was still fun. I still had a fun time.
Yeah, sounds like it. You had a great time. All right, on that note, let's put this news fine to bed. We covered a bunch of topics, mainly because we haven't had an episode in like a month and a half or something like that. So we want to cover it. Let's go into our rankings for our top 15. And with the top 15, as we start off with the snub list of people who didn't make it, the people who got votes. And this time, as we usually do for a tradition for Americas, is that you're able to vote out of region. So anybody that's competing in regionals, period, was eligible to get ranked.
Wait.
Wait, I was told it was
Wait, I was.
it was NA only.
Oh,
Yeah.
I corrected that within like 5 minutes. Check
Wait, what?
your.
Bro,
Chat.
we just ranked in no
Oh.
NA players.
I thought
or
I thought your correction was the opposite.
Bro,
It's
I
all-
got
it's all good.
briefed.
It's all good. It doesn't
Oh, yeah,
matter. You're
yeah,
gonna
the-
draft them, so you'll get to talk about them.
No, but then the thing is, like, Soju asked for my ranking, and then I gave it to him, and I told him it was America's only, or like it was NA only as well.
Wait,
I asked him. I was like, "Where the fuck are the other region players?" And he's like,
Yeah, I was like,
no,
what you're saying is,
I see.
Soju copied the A student's homework, but for once the A student didn't read properly, so Soju copied the wrong fucking homework.
I see.
Yeah, I thought it was NA only.
No, it's the entire Americas. Well, I guess now all of a sudden I'm not entirely sure how this ranking is going to shake up, but we did have a narrow miss. Me first or eighth, just narrowly missed the list at 16th. Lucas, Casper, Phoenix, and Ramblin. Now I'm curious. Did you end up voting for any of these guys?
Yeah, I voted for all these guys except Ramblin.
Oh,
I voted for Casper.
So you would not you even vote for Casper? Wow, that's actually
Yeah.
very bold of you. So would you have changed, like, you would not vote for Casper? You put someone else on?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. Okay.
Who would you put up out of curiosity?
I mean, just like the best BR players and Relic.
But
pretty much.
Do you have a number one overall like non-NA player right now?
Let me see. I actually did like that tier list, but like there's like a tier list maker for like all the people that were playing.
We have something like that coming up as well. So what
Sounds
we're
fun.
going to do is we're going to show the top 15 rankings, and then we'll go into it. But
Well, the thing is, like, I don't actually end up watching them play, but it's probably like Ego or Babzera, right?
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
Just like from results.
all right. So you voted for Phoenix. Do you actually believe in him, or is that just because he's your league buddy?
Oh, I know. I mean, nah. Yeah, I believe in him. Yep.
No, all of Phoenix's points is from me and Soju.
Yeah, because he
I
just
put him
ditched his
14th
homework.
I put him
And Soju
14th,
copied.
then Soju put him 15th.
Hey, so
Like
you
what-
did not
yeah.
copy it directly, buddy. You moved the numbers around. You would.
okay, so
Your
what
own
happened
man.
was I'm not really watching TFT, so I have no idea what's going on Scrimson or anything like that. So I just asked Soap if I could just copy his homework, but I won't make it obvious, and I'll scramble around some of the rankings, so it's not just like a word for word on his. But he ranked NA. Oh, okay, wait. Also, isn't this also your fault? Because can't you see it and just be like, why are there no any other region players?
Yeah, that's probably on me, but you got to remember that I'm literally pinging you guys for ballots and putting them on my monitor whenever you send them through while I'm like reading contracts and shit. So I'm not really looking. I'm just
Okay, so what
copying
about
and
Dan
pasting
then?
shit. Dan's
Oh,
building.
Dan-
Dan's building the show. He's not. He's
Oh,
not.
okay.
Oh,
Okay, so
but
it's not you
Bryce,
then.
I rely on you
Okay.
to be my checks and balances. This is why I can't continue the show without you, man, because I have too much on my plate.
I got no
This is
fucking
a
checks
per-
and balances.
this is
The
a
fact that I got
perfect example
ballots,
of
we
a
got it done, baby. We got it
system
done.
dysfunction.
Counts.
This is why the podcast can't kind of go on, you guys. Yeah, you expect me to do this all by myself? I
Okay,
have to
but
deal with
if-
guys who can't read their Discord DMs.
Okay, but if we're actually like talking about players, I think me first or eighth should have made it even like within like all
Regardless.
it's not just NA.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Like, I think it's pretty good.
why don't we pull up the top 15 then and show exactly why that is? Oops, sorry. I did the same transition, but the top 15, we actually have for the very first time a tie at the very top. We've never actually had this, but we had Wage and Iverson and Replay split 1-1-2. So that was actually a really interesting conclusion, I guess, to our rankings where it's becoming ambiguous. But if you actually look a little bit closer, okay, the Milk number is actually, I didn't think I updated every number correctly because Milk didn't score 140, but it is really tight on the average. With Milk, Dish Soap, and Wage and Iverson's replay, they're all within like 10 points. So it kind of just comes down to like who you're ordering 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there's a noticeable gap with Prestivent, where it's about like 40, 50 points, and then Prestivent came out. And then we have another gap, and then we have Robin, Ripple, Babzera from Brazil, Ego Illusions from Brazil, Philip, Michael, and Degree, and Bruce, and Bobster, and then a two-way tie with Spencer and Relic, and it all kind of like cascades down from there. So that brings us to this graphic that Dishsoap was kind of talking about, which is the tier list of like how it looks if you actually point distribute it. I want to say, does this look right? Like, what do you think, Dishsoap?
Yeah, I mean that's like kind of close to what I made. I'd say so.
And I'm pretty sure if you guys put in the non-NA players in your ballot, that the 3 you would have ranked would have been Babzera, Ego, and Michael, right? And
Yeah.
probably if you guys both give them like, middle of ballot status, they probably both move up into like a lower part of tier.
Yeah, they probably move up to B tier, but like one thing is clear is that like no one's really else is breaking the S tier, and no one else is really breaking into the A tier with Preston, which is really weird. I've never seen a solo A tier like where Preston is right now. He's in no man's land. So would you generally agree with this? I know you said you haven't been watching, but you've been checking in on your boys during practice.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think Milk, Disso, Replay, Weijin, and Setsuko are like the 5 like giga cap. So it's like you're not gonna like break into S until you get like meaningful results like consistently. So, and I think I don't know why Robin is not an A, because I think Robin is also one of those players where like everyone never rates him that high, but he always delivers. I feel like Robin should easily be an A. I don't care if he's not prepped, like whatever. I mean, he's definitely prepped a little bit, but
I actually think it's good for him now, because I think that he needs the motivation. So he is weirdly now underrated on these rankings pretty consistently.
Wait, wasn't the thing that like the past couple sets he like didn't deliver? And that was like,
Yeah,
really?
specifically he missed regionals for the first time last set, and then set 10 he didn't. He actually had like one of his weaker performances. I mean, Robin even said last set 11 was like his worst set ever competing wise.
oh, I don't know.
I mean, that being said, he's still like 6th on the list, and it's pretty close.
So
Like,
he had very good results this up.
yeah, and he almost he basically was in one of the best positions possible to get the world seed prior to Bobster just straight up winning the event. So like Robin was having a really good set, and then unfortunately had a bad tactics to come number 3. Relic, Michael, Ego Illusions, Babzera, these are really strong players. People are ranking Bobster. I kind of want to just get a general vibe check on Bobster. Disop, do you think, like, I mean, obviously he's having a great set, and you don't get to World through QP unless you're having like a consistent set. But people aren't really talking about him very much, so I kind of want to hear your thoughts.
I mean, not gonna lie, like it might like just be a bad thing. Like he could just use this as like motivation against like the people ranking, but usually on these you kind of have to deliver for like more than a set on like multiple occasions for people to like actually think you're like really, really good. Well, specifically people that do this ranking. I know like a lot of people like actually think he's good, and those are probably the people who watch his games, because I mean I really haven't. So it's possible I'm underrating him that I haven't just seen his play. But for me, I personally just can't. Someone who kind of like came out of nowhere into like a top position off one set personally when we've had 12 so far. That's just how I feel about it.
Okay. Bryce, I know it's been kind of hard to kind of like follow all the storyline. Have you done your interviews with the players?
I have. I've gotten probably 2/3 of them done, so not
Okay.
everyone has responded yet, but I've got a decent sense, and I've been watching for the last 48 hours. Like I'm working, but I'm constantly in chat with the guys, like watching scrims and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I don't have any POV on Bobster. I have POV on some of the like higher end folks, and it's exactly what I'm saying. Like the reality is, like whenever we get to people like this, no one has any fucking idea. Like maybe the people rating him have watched him a little bit, depending on the circumstances. But a lot of the time, it's just like vibes, and you just need to do it for longer in order to get people to like actually really pay attention to your play and form an opinion on you. There's too many people playing TFT that we know are really good that you want to follow their opinions and try to glean what you can from them. You can't keep up with everybody.
Who's a player you're excited to watch that we haven't talked about yet?
Ripple. I'm going to regret saying this because I'm totally tipping my fantasy draft hand, but honestly, I'm probably just going to go get my guys for this last draft. It just sounds fun to me. So I'll probably just spend a lot of money on Ripple. I just feel, I don't know, I just have a feeling this is his get over the hump tournament. I've always thought that Ripple was the skill ceiling player that people don't talk about enough, if that makes sense. Like the people who it's like, we know their peak is really high, that we have that conversation all the time in TFT, and I feel like Ripple weirdly gets left off that list. And he's a guy who's always allocated like very fractionally to TFT. And I don't know, he's actually focused on TFT, and I feel like Ripple focused on TFT, that could get real scary real fast. So we'll see.
Does anyone agree?
And I think patch wise it could suit him.
Interesting. I am curious because I think Ripple has really high highs as well, but I think it's like one of those things where either you've watched him and you know that potential is there, or you just kind of feel like he's just one of those like, yeah, like maybe he does well, maybe he's not. He's very mysterious.
And that's a lot investment related, right? A lot of it is when you get those guys, the Spencers, the Ripples, the Degrees, there's tons of the Goobums, right? Like how good they are is like, well, I don't know, are they playing TFT for real or not really?
Okay.
So I think he's in that bucket, but he's invested. It's like if Spencer was investing at the level Ripple's investing, I'll get real interested real fast.
Okay. We'll see. I mean, he's Ripple here at 7. It just feels like with just a few point swings, he could also just be somewhere in the 10s. But I think he's recognized as definitely one of the strongest NA players if he's on points. And I think a lot of people in chat are glazing appropriately. Okay, I have to ask Soju two things. One, actually, the first thing is, Soju, is there a player that you're excited to, or you're looking forward to watch play this weekend from this list that we also haven't talked about? Like any player here?
Okay, so I usually don't like watch like players outside of my friends. But I think I'll probably watch Michael if he gets to the final day. I think his results are like way too good. He's always at the top. And he has like made worlds multiple times. So I kind of want to see like his play. Like the thing is, I don't want to like talk down on other regions, but most of the time like the top players of the other regions usually just play on NA. So like when you do show up to a region with like 5 players that don't play the game, like you cannot not be 2KLP. So yeah, I mean, other than Michael, I'm probably just gonna be rooting on Precedent. I want him to make worlds, even though
you're hate watching him. So
I hate watching him, but I want him to make it to worlds one time. So I don't know, just once. And I want Milk to make it.
You just want him to play Valorant with you. He won't play Val with you enough until he makes worlds. And after that, you got him.
No, I mean, yeah, if he doesn't make worlds, he'll play Val. So it's like but I still want him to make worlds. So it's like, I mean, we can just find someone else for Val. But also I want Milk to do well. I think people put him in S tier, but I think he's actually, I think he's the best player. I don't know how much he's trying right now, but I think if everyone would have had like 100 days and somehow they don't quit the game by just sweating 20 hours a day for 100 days, I think Milk would come out the best.
You think Milk is better than Setsuko?
Yeah, I mean, I also think Setsuko's pretty good. I also think Disso's pretty good.
He's immediately walking it back.
Wow, all right. I mean, you just literally.
I mean, no, but I think Milk is. Setsuko's pretty good too. I don't know. I actually don't know, but I think Milk is like really, really good. So I'm kind of excited. I don't know if he's actually trying. I mean, he's definitely trying, but you never really have the read on him because he'll just say he's terrible at the patch or he doesn't play the game. Yeah. And sometimes he actually doesn't play the game.
Speaking of, follow-up question. Why are you peer pressuring Spencer and Phoenix and all of them to stop prepping and to start playing some flex queue in Valorant? I feel like you have an opportunity to be influential in a positive way for these guys' career, and you're like sabotaging them, man.
There is no resistance. I call Phoenix at 4 a.m. He sleeps at 2 a.m. and he's just like, hello? And I'm like, all right, get on, I'm on. And he's like, okay. And then, oh no, he's not like, okay. He's like, what? And I'm like, okay, come on, man. Like, I just woke up. It's time to play some League. And then he's like, okay. And then he gets on like 10 minutes later. Spencer, you join call. He's scrimming. He's in a game. Yo, Spencer, is it League time? Okay. And then he just instantly gets on and we play. Like Spencer, like for sure. I mean, they don't even try to like Preston will be like, nah. But then sometimes they'll come in and be like, oh, you want to play some Valorant? I'm like, okay, bet. But I mean, they want to play like not TFT. So,
it's not a bad influence, Dan. All he does is give him a little nudge.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's not even my fault. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So, you do realize you're like their very famous friend, right?
I know, nah, it's not like that. Like we
I know it's not like that, but it's like,
yeah.
What's her?
Nah, we just play.
You're influential. How about that, Soju?
Nah, Spencer has no. Even if I'm not playing, Spencer's just dueling with Setsuko 20 games. He duels with Spencer, or Setsuko and Spencer duel 15 games, and then I think he takes like a 3-hour nap. Then I wake up and I ask him if he wants to play, and then we do another 10 games. He has like 20 games a day. But so it's not only me. Like I think he just wants to play League.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Sounds good. Sounds good. That is our rankings.
Wait. We have to. Isn't this the first time Replay's ever been ranked one other than the set Wrapped where he had won Worlds?
Oh, you're right. Actually, in terms of power rankings, this is the first time. So, do you
I
want
think
to
that's
speak?
I
to
think
that?
it's a big deal.
Okay.
I think we should get. This is a guy. In some ways, when I saw this, it felt very fitting because this is a guy who, for the whole history, mostly, I think everyone understands that the power rankings are mostly just for fun, right? Like it's not. No one takes their ballot that seriously. We have to submit the ballots way in advance of the tournament because we have to like do the graphics and shit. And it's like no one watches everybody. The ballots are fundamentally flawed as an exercise, but it's fun. It's a great way to talk about stuff, and it became a vehicle for this whole show. Replay took these rankings very seriously and got very upset at multiple points in time because of the rankings, because he felt like he wasn't getting his due, which in fairness to him, he wasn't. He was being underranked by the rankings because the system is fundamentally flawed. So I was happy that he got his, even if it's tied for first, that he is rank 1 in the end. Weijin's had a couple of those moments, and I think he's deserving of it too. He's played a really good set. He's played really good, consistent TFT for a really long time as a deserved rank 1 for Replay, and I'm glad he got it in the final ever ballot.
Yeah. Weijin as well. These are two guys who actually stepped out of our power rankings. Weijin actually stepped back in. I have the actual I actually have the actual ballots. You can see just exactly how closely Soju actually mimicked Dish Soap a little bit up and close.
Wait, what? No.
Yeah, it's the exact same names.
It's like the
No,
exact
it's
same people.
the same names, but I
Yeah.
like I actually moved. I actually put
He did.
like thought into moving.
No. If you actually had to pick like NA only, like you would end up with the exact same names pretty much.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, he put Phoenix 14 instead of 15 and put Casper 14.
And
instead of
No, but I
15.
shuffled the top.
Yeah. It's just
We offered, to be clear, so Weijin and Replay had both been previous panelists, were not panelists, had not been panelists for at least this set for some time. I don't remember exactly when they both quit. We offered both of them. Weijin said yes and submitted a ballot. Replay said he did not want to, and I said no problem, good luck. So he's not on the list, but it was his choice.
he would have been the tiebreaker for himself and Weijin.
Yeah, he would have actually, if Replay had submitted a ballot,
he would
then
have
he
been
would
the
have been
tiebreaker for himself.
one overall.
So yeah,
Or he could have put Weijin up there and swung it the other way. That would have been funny too.
that would have been interesting as well. But I don't think that would ever happen.
Yeah, probably not.
All right. Anything else about power rankings? Otherwise, I feel like we can transition to the agrees that Bryce you sent me.
Yeah. Did you change them at all?
No, I did not.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool.
All right. So let's go ahead and start off with agrees, where we throw out a statement and we ask the panels, thumbs up, thumbs down, agreed, disagrees. The first, and these are all basically put out by Bryce. These are topics that Bryce wanted to talk about. So the first is that TFT can be balanced way better. The dev team just isn't good enough at it. We'll start off with Bryce here, since I think you want to go here.
Yeah, okay. Before I answer, I'll just frame it up that when Dan asked me about what I want to do for the final 2 shows, the biggest thing I wanted to do is I wanted to like zoom out a little bit and talk about the bigger picture of TFT. So oftentimes the agrees are like in the kind of what's going on with the specific set. But I feel like if we're moving on from the show, I wanted to like have a little bit of a more meta conversation about TFT, its design direction, the game direction, all that stuff. So it's going to definitely be a little bit bigger picture, but I'm really excited to get into it. I think these are super, super interesting topics.
Okay.
So TFT can be balanced way better. The dev team just isn't good enough at it. I would say that on average, I agree with this statement. I think that they're good at it, to be clear. I think that they're very good at it, actually. And I think that balancing TFT is an outrageously difficult exercise. It's among the most difficult games to balance ever. It wouldn't shock me if it was number 1. I'm not an expert in that topic, so I can't really opine, but it would not surprise me to find out that TFT is the hardest game to balance, especially if you're going to release content on the pace that they do. If they release content a lot more slowly, it'd be a different exercise, right? So I think it's really hard. I think they're very good at it, but I do think that it can be balanced way better. And I will say that some of this is just like misses about stuff, which happens, and I think would happen less if they created some systems and processes to like better capture feedback from a certain elite group of players. And I don't know that you can reasonably disagree with the notion that if you gave Dish Soap the patch 12 hours before every patch and said you get to change 3 things you only can change 3 things. It's very limited in what you can do. What would you do? I think on average he would improve the patch. I think he would probably have a really good batting average at that. And I know that it's an imperfect thing, just so, but I'm happy for you to respond on that. Actually, do it. Go for it. What's your
the
thought?
glaze?
Like,
All right.
I don't know if that's true because like I feel like I'm like decently wrong about like a lot of stuff, but
Name one.
like okay, I don't even remember.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I thought. That's what I thought.
You can't just put you on the spot like like we could talk about like before the set launch. I thought Millia was broken. That guy was terrible. But I thought Millia was broken because like on PvE the fights lasted 10,000 10,000 years.
And
So
you don't have access.
Millia just always farm 10 items. So like you just think he's broken, but when you release on live, you just realize he doesn't cast because someone found out you should build attack speed on Syndra and your whole board has died in 3 seconds. So Millia doesn't even cast once instead of 5 times. But so yeah, the unit just sucked.
Okay, so
Like, I thought it was good.
this is really, really early in a set before you actually really know and before anything has really been worked out, right? So I'm not sure that's like a great, and I'm sure you can come up with examples of times when you've been wrong, like mid-patch or late patch even, right? But I think that on average you would improve it. And I think that you would have a really good batting average at improving it. I think most of the time you would do something substantively good for the patch. And I feel like there's got to be an opportunity to pull some more of that in because it's way too often of a percentage of time where like pros look at a patch and the immediate discourse behind the scenes is this is an issue, this is an issue, this is an issue. And it's right way more often than it's wrong. It is definitely wrong sometimes, and sometimes they get it really wrong and flame, and they're idiots. They look like idiots. And part of the problem is we can't have an intellectually honest conversation about this because the pros disengage from the times when they were wrong. They don't just like cop to the fact that like, yeah, we were completely wrong about that. And so I do think that this can be done better. And then the last thing I'll say is part of this is also like balance direction of what they want out of the set. And that's just something I disagree with, right? Like, if they might say this patch is good because a lot of different reroll lines can be played, a lot of different lines can be played, but that's not how I define what makes a balanced patch TFT. And I want to see it more stylistically balanced, and I'm not sure that that's actually a priority for them. And I'm not sure that, like, board state fluidity is a priority for them either. So if they're, like, balancing the game and designing the game in a way that, like, doesn't create space for that, I'm always going to disagree with it.
I have a question, not to toss it back to Bryce too soon, but how come you didn't pick Soju for the suggestion? Like, why not Soju give 3 suggestions? You keep going to Dish Soak all the time.
I would say because Soju is like less seriously engaged with the game, the game at a
He's actually answering
level.
the question. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Oh, should I not? Okay.
No, finish. I was just curious.
Wait, do you actually want me to finish? I can't tell.
Nah, we can stop there. Let's go. Soju, what do you think? Agree? TFT can be balanced way better? Def Team is not good enough?
I think this is my 3rd time on the show with Bryce, and every single time I'm forming my opinions, and as I'm forming my own like what I'm going to say, I just listen to what Bryce says, and I mean I'm just gonna say what Bryce says. Like I mean, I'm not saying like I agree. Like I'm not. I was forming that initially that. Like I mean, the TFT team is not bad at balancing. It's just that the game is hard to balance. And when I say that this set like balancing was trash, it was trash. But the thing is, it's like I don't think I could do much better. But I don't know. I mean I think there's like some stuff like I said earlier, like the double down, like that should have been gone. Like 2 patches, like a double down Kalista where you don't interact with the game. It's been a 3-point like low like a mid 3 for not interacting in the game for 10 rounds for like 4 or 5 patches in a row, including the B patches. So it's just like I feel like that is not acceptable. But other than that, I think there's been like a reroll patch. There's been like level 8 like patch. Like there's been a lot of patches. I just think it's
Okay. Dish Soap.
I think a lot of the things that like are like mismatches between or like a lot of like the really really egregiously bad balancing stuff usually just happens because like this they just randomly have to lock like a week before, and then like whatever meta developments happen like afterwards is just like useless to them. And it's not even like just a week before, because like a lot of the time they're like balancing a week before based off the read of like the masses, and the read of the masses is also just off. So like a lot of the time they're just balancing for stuff that like doesn't really need to get balanced. And then like sometimes it's like obvious, like there's like this one patch where they just mopped all the mages and they're like, oh yeah, like this is obviously just gonna get B-patched. But then like when you have to B-patch, like I don't think they have enough time to like actually work and do all that's necessary to like to like make it good. So I mean I don't even know if a solution. So I mean I'm just yapping, but I feel like a lot of the time like roll to a Nico's DM and be like, "Oh, this looks super scary," and he's like, "Oh yeah, patch is locked, buddy. Unlucky." And I'm like, "Okay."
So is this so this is so you're a disagree? Agree?
Oh no, no. I mean, I agree. Like,
Okay.
I feel like they would do better if they could actually balance on a develop patch, like based on a develop patch, not a like an old meta.
Yeah, and I think that's just going to be something that is part of the issue with TFT until either something changes, TFT gets its own client, something about the patch cycle systemically improves.
I wonder how expensive that would be for Riot to allow TFT to be on a different patch cadence than League. I have no doubt there's efficiencies of scale and that's worth a meaningful amount to them, but how much is a meaningful amount?
I think it's actually not even possible. Because it's like a technological actual limitation of it. But that part I'm not okay. Maybe they could, right? But I think it's like it's not a reasonable possibility because it'd be so extreme. It requires so many different things that I don't think it can happen. That being said, I mean, yeah, can TFT always be balanced better? Like, yes, absolutely, yes. It's very much as simple as like I feel like this set's a pretty good example of it. It could have been way better. The potential of the set was really high, and I think it's like a combination of a lot of things. I think the dev team isn't good enough, but like I think we're all kind of just like bad, and I think we're still kind of early in our understanding of TFT. Like I know that a lot of people think that TFT is like really optimized, which might actually be another subject we come up across soon. But I think that I think we're all still kind of bad at TFT, and both that applies to the devs. Like no flame to the devs, but I think you guys kind of suck at TFT too. Because if you guys were a lot better, you would actually catch a lot of the things that are pretty egregious. So I think it's like a learning process together, and I think it's important to have constructive criticism and never turn it into like the toxic flame war that sometimes it ends up being.
I completely agree. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to have this topic on the show, because like I think this has been part of the legacy of the show is we've tried to have a honest conversation about where it's at.
Yeah.
Hold players' feet to the fire when it's bad. Same thing with Riot. Talk about when it's in between and people are being unreasonable in either direction.
Yeah. The frustrating thing is when it feels like things keep repeating itself, and it feels like we're not learning. It feels like we take a step backwards, right? So let's say we just reprint encounters exactly 1-to-1. And all the frustrating things about it, I think every player would rightfully be extremely angry because it feels like we didn't learn anything. I think that's where some frustrations are because some people are holding out. Like Bryce for 3 sets was holding out for a better set mechanic and he just kept not getting one. And then he threw up his arms just like, I'm fucking done with this. And was just like complaining about encounters all set long last set. And I think a lot of players are in that boat but are much less generous than you are.
Yeah, fair.
Chat agrees, 75% in agreement. Let's go ahead and move to number 2. Flex play is a thing of the past. TFT is too soft, and there's too much data available for true flex to be a thing. I want to start off with Soju here.
Well, I don't really know the definition of flex though. I feel like your board on certain levels is going to be optimized, but I think there's spots where like you don't need to be playing the strongest board, right? Because it's like, so my example would be like you're making 20 on 4-2 and you can go 9 on 5-2. You don't have to sit there and sure a board like your board can go from 7 out of 10 to 8 out of 10 or maybe 9 out of 10. But like, does it really matter? You can make 20. You're healthy and you can just make a 10 out of 10 board on 9. But I think I would agree that I think stats make it so you can even figure out what units you want to hold on stage 2 just by looking at meta TFT and seeing like board win rate on like early levels, like level 4, level 5. I think maybe like a couple patches ago, it was like the Warwick, the 3 Frost, and then it got nerfed like 5 times in a row. So it's definitely not that anymore. Even with the mage buffs, like maybe 4 patches ago, I know mages, I don't know what it is now, but like I remember Soraka Seraphine after like 3 buffs still was unclickable on stage 2. I think flex play is it's just a bad word for knowing the trade-off between playing strongest and like going for econ, like guaranteed econ and stuff like that. But I would agree. I think like the level 8 Kalista board that's been broken the entire set, the 5 fairy one. By the way, after they changed fairy to a 3 trait, I think, or 3/5 trait, I think the set just got kind of bad. I think as soon as Kalista turned into you must play 5 fairy, it just kind of killed that entire tree. But anyways, yeah. So like the biggest example would be like the level 8 board, bro. You just put the jacks you put the Lilia, you put the Hecarim, you put that garbage in your planner. If you find Camille over Jax, it's no, like, yeah, I think it's too soft. But anyways, yeah.
Okay. So an agree from Soju. Disso.
Like I'll agree in the sense that like a lot of people like think flex play is just like you just play like random boards every game, like just based on like what you hit and what your items are. And like that has like I my opinion is that has like always been a bad way to play the game. Like just a bad way to play the game. But like that can be like fine to do for a few rounds, like Soju said, like 4-2 to save econ and go 9 or whatever, just like as like a stopgap for your strongest board. Because you're never like playing optimized boards in the mid game. That's like kind of the same thing on 4-2. But what I will say is like there are like even in like current sets with like the amount of knowledge we have in this game, there are opportunities to flex your boards, specifically at like level 8. If the like balance was like a little different, like for example, the past, I don't know, like 4 or 5 sets, the trade balance, like traits have usually always just been better than units. They've been pretty consistent on that. And if just upgrades were better than traits, then you could end up playing like specifically frontline, like flex your like different frontline upgrades a lot of the time. Maybe like a melee duo carry could be different. But with the current way the game just balance trends, that usually just doesn't end up being that viable. I remember specifically last set, Ashe used to be played with all the 4-cost frontline, but then they just nerfed all the units and then they buffed 4 Warden.
It's really what happened with Kalista this.
Yeah, and then
it's almost
you
exactly 1-to-1.
And then you just played 4 Warden until the end of time because like just the numbers on it were too high. But that's just like a numbers diff. So I feel like a lot of this is actually just them prioritizing having strong traits over strong units. And obviously there's like a reason they do that. Because like probably for the vast majority of players, having strong traits is like really important. Like they probably know that. But like it gets a little sad sometimes when the words become so cookie cutter at the end of the set.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Bryce, do you want to go, and then I'll say something?
Sure. So I thought about including a lot of thoughts on this in my retirement statement, actually, and I passed because I didn't really like. At the end of the day, it wasn't the thing that was making me step away, and I felt like I didn't want to like be negative within the confines of that statement. I wanted to like, yeah, some of my reflections were a little bit like sad, but that's just like part of the reality of saying goodbye to anything, right? So I try not to be like negative and Tinder and anything, but I will say that an overlay to me falling out of love with TFT has been that the game, that flex play, which is what I loved about TFT, when I felt like it was optimal to be a lot more flexible in a lot of different ways within the confines of a game, when that was like more prominent. And I've been grappling with, is that dead? Why is that dead? Because it's been dead for a long time, right? Like the game has been incentivizing more and more towards early commitment, towards play of like comps over trees, right? Towards like being able to use something like TFT Academy and like really basically see what you're gonna do, as opposed to like when I would first build boards for TFT and I would build them with like 30 units on them, right? Not actually, but essentially, right? Put shitloads of units and combinations of units and think about how to build a board. And some of that is data. Like some of our moving away from that is we're better at the game and our decisions are way more data driven. And so that teaches us a lot of things, for sure. For sure that is the case. And so I think it probably true flex play wouldn't be a thing anymore. There'd be certain units we like wouldn't put on our boards anymore because we understand that they're just bad units or whatever, right? But I think a lot of flex play could theoretically live if I felt like the design team and the balance team were interested in that as an end goal. And I don't think that they are. Right? And I think that we have like well over a year's worth of data on that now. And at first I was optimistic that they were getting it wrong unintentionally and that they were going to get back to what made me fall in love with TFT. And then the more space I got from it, the more I realized that it's exactly what Dish Soap that was talking about, which is there's a version of this game that's way more fun for the overwhelming majority of people who play it. The game is really hard. There's a bunch of shit going on. No one is looking at this game and saying, oh, it's too simple, make it more complicated, right? Except for us. We want it to stay complicated and fluid, and that's part of what makes TFT beautiful to me. But I don't think that there's really I don't think there's space for it anymore because they design things in a way that makes it not be the case, right? In a bunch of different ways, right? Like they the change in bag sizes, like reduced ability to like flexibly play around other units, the support, like the moving away from the use of support units in the context of set, like things like threats that they tried that I loved, that they really like almost immediately got away from, right? The trait versus unit power stuff that Dishub was talking about is a huge part of this, a huge fucking part of the problem here, right? Like they're trying to make it easier, and as a result of the fact they're trying to make it easier, they're taking away some of our ability to play the game in the like best way to play that I think there's to play the game. Yeah, I'm talking a lot, chat. Yeah, it's the last fucking episode or 2 episodes.
Even Dan,
I don't care.
I'm laughing because Dan joined it.
Anyway, I deserve it. I'm fine with it.
Okay, I wanna jump in here.
I was actually bringing it for a landing really fast.
Okay.
So I was the landing is I think that
you don't have to land.
Like,
that's the thing. I can keep you in the air, buddy. I got a good alley-oop.
Go with it. Let's do it.
When was the last time you remember this mythological? In my opinion, because my take is I think you guys don't even understand. Like going back to what Soji's point is, I think most people can't even really define true flex play. And when true flex play really existed, I'm much more of the opinion that it actually doesn't exist the way your memory tells you it was. So just go ahead and tell me the last time you think this supposed utopia of flex play existed.
I want to say set 6. That's my instinct, is that that's the last time that I felt like that was happening. But honestly, man, I'm fucking old and I have 3 kids and I do not remember exactly.
Sure.
I've suffered a lot of sleep deprivation.
The point that I'm trying to drive at is I think what ends up happening, in my opinion, this is my take, and this is why I can maybe even hand it back to you for a landing, or we can continue on. But I think TFT players have a disease. I think that they have an actual problem of cherry picking what they liked about certain things from parts of a meta, not even the whole meta. They'll remember trees that were flex, but that was like the one flex tree within a meta that was not very flexible, and they'll just like somehow keep like they'll grab this and this and this. And then they'll in their mind, they put enough plot points on the data to say, like, that was a time when Flex was real. When that's, like, across multiple sets, across multiple patches that didn't actually exist. And they're saying, like, what happened to the game I love? That game you loved never existed. That's my take on the situation.
Okay, I actually think I have a good answer to this. I'm glad you asked this question because I wasn't going to go here, but I think this is a really interesting point. So I think you're conflating different variables. I think that you're correct in identifying that there were like flexible trees. That was part of what was going on. There was other stuff going on that was wrong as well, right? They've gotten progressively better at balancing and designing TFT as time has gone on. This is a genre they invented, essentially, right? Like, they copied some people very early on, but then once they were off to the races, there was no competition. They've had to figure it out each and every step of the way. So most of what they're doing is uncharted territory, and they get stuff wrong all the time as part of that, and that's fine. And that's going to create things like horrible patches because you get War Week, or, you know, a fundamentally flawed design thing like the advancement of Chosen to Headliner, right? Like, Headliner was just learning on what they had done on Chosen. So there's lots of stuff that's actually gotten a lot better in TFT. And so I think that remembering also some of the really good stuff about these early sets is valuable data. I think that even though you're right that overall we might be looking back on those patches with rose-colored glasses, that doesn't mean that it's wrong to think about the fact that, like, in set 2, when we played some sins, for the people who played set 2,
I knew you were going to go to some sins. I have a counterpoint ready for that.
I can't wait, right? And Mort has talked about this at length, that it was like a bunch of OP units, all this stuff. That's all fair and valid, right? But like, the reality was there was a meaningful period of time in TFT where there was a line that was called some sins, but you would often play it without summoners or sins. Like, it was a weird hodgepodge. It was built around combinations of units. There was a lot of different things happening in like the way in which units interact with each other back then. And I think that it's possible to go after some of that. And for me, the thing that shifted this mentality for me is when I realized it's not even their goal. And I think it's fair to say that this is really hard, and maybe there's a utopia in my head and it can't actually be attained. But I know for a fact that they can get a lot closer than they are right now. And my issue is they're not even interested in it. They're looking at other things. For them, they look at a balanced patches. Well, you get to the end of the game and the end of lobby screen is diverse. To them, that is balance. And to me, that's not what balance means. Right? And I have similar issues on the design side. So I think your point is valid, Dan, but I'm not sure it changes my conclusion on the statement.
Okay, that's fair. I just think that people are working from the wrong premise, because even in set 2, we were committing at 2-1. Bryce, people died at stage 3 in set 2.
For sure.
People were open forting for spatulas in stage 2. People were committed Ocean Mages. They're committed to Predator reroll. They're committed to Egg reroll, whatever it was called, Woodland. Like we were still doing that, and that was the optimal way to play the game. Soju can back me up here. At 2, you still committed at 2-1.
I'll give a set 6 example. I actually felt like I had a lot of success like on ladder and like the earlier tournament somewhat with like kind of playing flex in set 6 and set 6.5, like playing all like the AP trees like the Seraphine, the Kaisa, the Oriana, and then like the Renata when that came out.
Right.
And then regionals came out, and then it was just very clear that you were just supposed to hard force Sivir, and it was and like the thing is like we were so bad we didn't even know it was Sivir, and then we didn't even play the correct Sivir board. We played like Bruiser Sivir at regionals, but it was supposed to be like 4 scrap Braum every single game. It was basically cookie cutter like Kalista. Like that was like the optimal meta for set 6 Worlds, and like we were just so bad we didn't know for a whole set. But like right now we figured out Kalista on like day 2 of a patch, and it took us a whole set to figure that out, that it was like scrap Sivir for like a whole set.
Sure.
And
sure.
now we figure out Kalista in 2 days.
I mean, that is part of the problem. We contribute to the problem. Actually, our entire website actually contributes to a big part of that. So maybe we're part of the problem. We're the perpetrators here.
Really fast. Mort's in chat, and he said, when the fuck did we say we were not interested in that? So I feel like it's worth responding to. I think I want to like acknowledge that point. It's not that anyone at Riot has stated they're not interested in it. And in fairness, I probably should rephrase. I get the impression that you're not because of the decisions that get made, right? Decisions like we talked about 2 very specific examples of like how Ashe was played and how Kalista was played earlier in the set, and then what happened, right? So it's clear that like from a balance perspective, they were pushed into playing in a more cookie cutter way. I think that there's a lot of decisions that have been made that to me show that there's like a push towards more of what I refer to as flowchart TFT, like the way in which Robin has historically TFT. Because you're right, Dan, there was tons of early commitment. Part of what made Robin such an interesting player in sets 4 and 5 is that he was playing very differently. He was committing basically every game of 2-1, and we talked about that. We talked about that at length, actually, that like Robin was the player that was going to be committing in stage 2 and what that meant and the advantages and the disadvantages that he was opting into. But it felt like there was a lot to push back on that at that time, and now it's just not the case. And maybe Robin was just correct the whole time. We'll never know, right? We'll never know.
Yeah. Mort, do you want to join the call? But sure. If you want, last regionals episode, we actually had more debate milk. So we could have more debate esports law if you want.
I don't even know that it's a debate. I'm super interested in the conversation. I may be walking away from TFT, but anyone who doesn't see, I mean, like I'm so passionate about this fucking game, right? I would if I can have a conversation with Mort about this, and if it has any influence whatsoever on the ultimate direction of TFT, great. And if it doesn't, then it's still an interesting conversation.
Well, like they never said that they don't want flex play to be a thing, but I feel like they do want powerful traits to be a thing. And I mean, I guess I just don't know if there's a world where like that could actually coexist. I guess.
Wait,
so,
did you like threats?
I love threats.
I thought
you're asking. I'm sorry. Go for it.
I thought threats were fine.
Yeah, and I feel like threats is like kind of an example where like a 2-star Zac is a 2-star Zac. Like it doesn't even need a 2 trait to even help Zac. A 1 trait is good enough. And I think that's like it definitely helped. I think the thing that ruined that set for me, like I actually kind of like thinking back about that set, I call that set like really bad. I actually kind of like threats. I didn't like hero augments because a bunch of reasons, but I think threats is kind of like an example where the upgrade is more valuable than the trait. And yeah.
I've been on the record. I think threats should be a part of every set. They can obviously re-theme it to the set, but I think there should be a group of 3 and 4 cost and 5 cost units every single set, roughly that many, that are completely balanced around their unit power. I think that's just a really good thing for TFT.
I mean, they're trying to. I mean, Wukong was supposed to be a threat.
Wukong is not a threat.
He's not a threat, but
he's a hunter.
The concept of Wukong exists, even though he's not. He wasn't designed or balanced as such.
Wukong's just a hunter that doesn't give us energy.
Yeah. Well, and the ones okay. So, but the other element of it is that a lot of this flex play, I think people just romanticize the idea of it so much more when things are actually more imbalanced in some ways. Like part of what makes the unit stronger outside the trait is because they're more broken and therefore they're more capable of being played other things. Otherwise, if you have a unit with a trait and it doesn't even use the trait, then you have things that just don't make sense. Like why is Camille a multi-striker in some ways, right? It doesn't even necessarily make a lot of sense. And so there's like a lot of like design conflicts with some of the concepts that people want flex play. So what's wrong with having FlexPay be a little bit part of the meta, which I still think it can be, and at times during the set it was, Bryce, but it's not like the dominant play style, and I think that's fine. Like, part of what I think makes TFT succeed is that it's a little bit for everybody, right? There's something for the reroll players, there's something for the flex players, something for Soju to fast 9 and die with. So there's like a little bit of everything, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that, though. I think that part of what makes TFT so special is like this inherent balance out and all the like the trade-offs to all the different decisions that you make. So like it was really interesting for me when we were talking about Robin's playstyle, and we were talking about the advantages of 2-1 commitment, but he was clearly trading off prospective value because it was like by committing to a line so early, he's closing off the possibility of a lot of other things that could go well for him in this game. And I feel like if those things are in relative harmony, I feel really good about that. I agree. I think there should be a lot of opportunity for people to play the game that way. But I think someone who's like playing the game the flexible way really well should, in general, outperform the person who's doing the simple way. The flex play creates a lot of opportunity for mistakes. There's so much opportunity to really grief your own game when you're doing stuff like that. That I think if it's done really well, it should be rewarded always in TFT. I don't know that should ever be the case. I don't know that I ever want vertical traits played standard with standard itemization to be stronger than that. I think you should create opportunity, because for me, TFT was always about this incredible harmony between the variance and the player agency. And I think what's happened as time has gone on is some of the ways in which they gave players to exercise agency over the game have been slowly but surely siphoned away. And I think that's a design and balance decision that's been made. And the net of it is we've lost that harmony on some level.
Okay. And so what? We ban stats? Is that the next degree? Let me see. Next degree. It's not? Okay. Oh, this is the next degree. The top pros are approaching the skill ceiling of TFT. There isn't much room left to optimize.
Oh, this is like
It's just an instant disagree.
No, it's not even close. I literally watched like my world spots. I thought I played really well, and then I just like I still see like multiple mistakes every single game, and like I only watch my games. Like maybe everyone else is just like making no mistakes, and I just got lucky. But like I don't really think so. I think they're all just making mistakes. I think everyone's making mistakes. But it's just like I don't think there's enough brain cells to not make mistakes.
Interesting. Brain. I want Soju to answer as well, and then I want to ask both of you a question afterwards. Soju, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, there's no way. Like, nah.
Okay.
I think there's like things where if you're not that good on a patch, like you're willing to play something that's like not as good if you are comfortable with it. And I think there's nothing wrong with that.
My follow-up question to both of you is, if we were to liken it like chess, this is a conversation I have a lot of times with my chat, which is, what do you think the general accuracy score is? In chess, after you play a game, you have an accuracy score of how well you played the game relative to optimal TF or chess. And TFT is far more complex than chess. But
what are the ranges on chess, Dan? Like a grandmaster.
In your lifetime as a chess grandmaster player, very few people ever score like a perfect game or anywhere close to it. Sure. And this is the very best players in the world. But it's a 0 to 100. Sorry, the 0 to 100% score scale.
Right.
So like for like this theoretical accuracy score, would minor mistakes be like you would take off less points than major mistakes?
Yes, exactly. Like minor mistakes are small dings, but then there's major blunders like, picking the wrong augment or something like that can completely change your score. So like, I mean, I'm just curious what your opinion is. Like, so Soju, what would you think the average like top player like Dishsoap and Setsuko's accuracy score is?
So let's say you like for just to quantify, like for a mistake as small as like for the mistakes that don't really matter, like for example, it's correct to guarantee 20 when it doesn't really matter if you can win 2 out of 3 and then play 19 gold and then get 20 anyway. And it's like if you make 20, you make 20. If you don't make 20, you don't make 20. One is optimal, but it's barely optimal. How penalized are you getting for that?
I don't know. You just took 30 seconds to describe a scenario as small as
wait, you didn't make 20? I feel like it's like Loki got a big mistake. No, he didn't make 20.
Well, I mean, like, let's say it's like. Wonder. I mean, it is. It's not like it's just like you can't.
I thought a minor mistake would be like you should have positioned 1 to the left or something like that, or
not making gold sounds like a big mistake. I agree. So just...
okay. I mean,
but like a big blunder would be like
an actual number. I mean, every turn there's probably going to be like something you could do better. So the percentage can be good, but I feel like no one's percentage is going to be high.
Yeah, but I'm curious what you think what the top player's accuracy score, like Dishsoap just won Worlds, what do you think his accuracy score would be? Just out of curiosity. I don't think there's a wrong answer here.
I mean, that also, I think it also depends. Like, it's like it's not even possible because you also have to scout the lobby and see like how strong you are relative to the lobby and stuff like that. But I think it also depends on what comp you're playing because some comps are just straight up brain dead. Like it's
Okay, he's
you know
playing
exactly when
Kalista.
you're stable.
He's playing.
Okay, yeah,
Kalista.
if he's playing Kalista, I'm pretty sure you can actually have perfect turns, pretty often. I don't think the comp is. I think it's pretty obvious when you're overrolling and it's pretty obvious when you're underrolling. But I think for a lot of other comps, it's impossible to have a perfect turn, especially with charms. I think the set mechanic adds a lot of like turn, like knowing when, like how much you want to roll for the next charm. I guess knowing what charm to buy actually, and stuff like that. But let's say charms aren't in the game and it's just TFT. I think you can actually have perfect turns, assuming you committed to the correct line. Like if you committed to like if it's not a mistake on the line that you already made, then you can't get penalized. Like, let's say you're playing Kalista when you should have played Ryze, like whatever, and then you're getting points taken out because you're playing Kalista every single turn. Like that's just BS. Like if it's Kalista, like
It would cap you at a certain accuracy score.
But wait, I'm pretty sure that the number of turns you make a mistake matters, Soju. If you like don't
Yeah.
put an item on the board for 5 turns, it should count as 5 turns of mistakes.
Oh yeah, but like it's you can't just be like, yeah, now you should have played Kalista, so you're just gonna lose points every single turn. But or you should have played Ryze. But I think you can actually have perfect turns. I think I think the early game is a lot more impactful than the later stages most of the time. I think setting up your game, like I feel like going into 3-2, you kind of know how your game's going. Sometimes you already know your eighth. So
I think he just wants a number.
I just want a number. Like what?
I mean I can't give you the number. I feel like I say any number I think is
literally
incorrect.
no one cares. Just put a number.
Okay, no one cares. I'll just say like 65%.
Okay, that's way higher than I thought.
No, like 75%. Like nah, like I'll go higher. I think you can actually have perfect turns. I think, and if it's not perfect turns, it's near perfect. So,
All right, Dissa, what do you think?
I think if you're counting like the fucking crazy AI positioning every single turn, the accuracy gets like super low for humans. But I feel like you can't really count that.
Sure, fair
Personally.
enough. This is your rubric.
So I feel like based on like just based on like Rodon's like generic okay-ish positioning, augment selection, line selection, I think top players get around like probably 65-70%. On a line like Kalista, it probably gets closer to like 80%. That just I think Kalista's like an outlier of how easy it is, but I still only think it's like 80% on Kalista, and I think that's like the easiest comp of all time in TFT.
Easiest comp of all time.
I think so. I think it is.
All right.
Like 80% for easiest comp of all time, 65% average.
I haven't played it. Is it just because it's so linear and because now you get a bunch of removers, so you just
Same
it's
items, same
beyond
positioning,
linear, right?
same augments, same units every game.
Yes.
There's like same roll down.
your placement is how hard you hit.
Yeah.
see, and all I'm saying is that comp should not cap out high.
It doesn't. Right now, it's much more reasonable, but it was too dominant for too long. Was the big problem? It was too good for how easy and simple it was. I got a lot of first time challengers in my like, oh, wow, I hit challenger. I look at their profile, it's like 70% Kalista. I'm like, I mean, that's a good challenge. That's a good accomplishment. I'm not trying to diminish that, but I'm just saying that like Kalista took a lot of people's C cards. So
like people in chat are like bringing up other cookie cutter comps, but the thing is, those comps you actually had a position. Kalista, you don't have to position at all. You actually don't. There's nothing in the set. There's nothing in the set to be scared of. Like maybe you have to watch out for Spectral Cutlass, but
yeah,
that's
or Zephyrs, I guess, but that's about it.
yeah, Spectral Cutlass and Zephyr.
Okay.
Comp catch. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Not even really. Sometimes this is because people are pretty lazy about it. But...
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Sim mechanics are too disruptive to the core TFT playing experience. They should have a much smaller footprint in TFT, or not exist at all. Soju, what do you think?
I think just changing the champions is not enough. I think it's gonna get kind of boring kind of fast. I kind of like the set mechanic. It's just I think the people that are going to wait, what was the question? Is something like am I agreeing or hold on? Let me go play this.
Like it's basically asking if you like set mechanics or not.
Okay, yeah. I think the people that don't like set mechanics are the ones that started like pretty like a lot earlier because some of these set mechanics have just been terrible. But I think this set mechanic is actually really good. I think if you don't like charms, I wonder if it's gonna be because you don't like something else. But I think set mechanics are good. I think it adds a lot of like new stuff every set, so it doesn't get boring too fast. And I just would rather have a better set mechanic than a not so good set mechanic. I think even if the set mechanic is bad, that's not true. I think if the set mechanic is okay, I would still rather have the set mechanic. But if the set mechanic is just not good, then
What's been above your okay threshold out of curiosity?
like I mean, I'll take. I mean, I will even take dragons. I think dragons is actually fine.
Wow.
I will
I
not allow.
7.0 or 7.5 dragons.
Wait, Dishop, you're the same thing on dragons?
No, I think like you actually need him as set mechanic so bad. I would take 0.5 dragons.
Wow.
I would agree. I think some mechanics are
like-
units needed, but what is not needed is when they're just bugged. Like sometimes they're just straight up bugged for the entire set, and then I feel like it can't just be half-assed. You can't just release this garbage set mechanic, hero augments, and then if they just offer me a Soraka when I don't even have whatever garbage it is, and I'm just sitting here, everyone else just loads in Samira. Guy chooses Samira as his hero augment, gets 4 gold because they're all out of the pool. Like what is that garbage? But like if it's stuff like that, then I'm good. But if I'm like I'll even take dragons. I think some mechanics are needed for the game.
All right.
Dishop, it sounds like you're on the same page.
Oh yeah, I basically 100% agree with him. I think like just for a novelty factor to not like have the game be boring. Like I mean, I love TFT for just like figuring out all like the interactions and shit, but like I don't know, like for the game to be fun, like you do need new stuff to come out, and it just can't really just be the units. I think. So I do think there needs to be some mechanic.
All right. Bryce?
Yeah, I mean, my position on this is pretty well established. Right? I think they've been way too heavy in level of disruption. So I'm certainly down with the notion of there should always be a set mechanic. Like you want sets to feel different. It's nice to have something that like actually is the what thing, because every set gets new units, new traits, items change, like all the different things that gets changed. So having like one thing that makes the set unique feels good. I just feel like it should be way lower in impact. I think that they should like play up the thematic of it as opposed to the like gameplay of it. I'm really sad I missed Charms. I think Charms had the potential to be like my favorite set mechanic since Augments. I think honestly, I'm pretty confident, even though I played 0 games of the set, I'm pretty confident in saying that it is my favorite mechanic. Because I've at least watched enough to have some feel of the way in which it influences the game, but I think that at least it influences the game positively a lot, in addition to sometimes influencing the game negatively. So maybe they're heading in the right direction with this. I'll be curious to see what happens with future set mechanics. So I think we're on a like 1 set mechanic hot streak personally, but like I think that the previous 4 or 5, however many it was, made the set worse to play. And I think that also you guys, I wonder what the POVs are on this in general, actually, because for you guys, you play so much TFT that like the more you can do to mix it up is good. For someone like me, it's like completely overwhelming to learn new shit every set. I have to learn new units, new traits, like item rebalance. There's always design stuff that gets changed, like they overhaul shit like Order Artifacts, whatever. There's so much. I don't like need a set mechanic throwing it in the works as well.
Yeah, I think it's because you are fundamentally a different type of player than most, is because you believe that TFT starts when you learn everything, when most people believe that that's when they end, when they have learned everything. And so it's kind of like how some people play Diablo and then get to the end and it's like they're done, and some people are like, I just want to start at level 90 and start grinding for my Paragon levels. And I think you're that kind of player. I believe that set mechanics are extremely crucial to make the game exciting, just like Soju and Dish Soap. And I think that I think that we've had enough absolute dumpster tier mechanics that I think it's definitively provable that the best players will still succeed.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter how terrible and awful and stupid and clowny and for fun these mechanics are, but like Dish Soap has still won the world championship in an encounter set, even though encounters probably was maybe in hindsight might actually be underrated in history books. Just putting it out there.
I hate encounters less than other people, but
it's just
like
you won worlds on it, just like Soju hates dragons less.
Yeah.
well, the thing is, no, I was like low key like not hitting encounters like before I won though.
Yeah,
like, I could probably find some receipts.
But like
Yeah,
the
sure.
good players will find a way. They're gonna put up with it. Soju's still gonna stream 30 hours, right? Dish Soap's still gonna climb in rank 1. It's like let's let these things mechanics excite the players, because that's when TFT dies. It doesn't die when NA gets 2 fewer slots than Brazil and LATAM. It doesn't die because, tournament viewership isn't climbing and people watch Soju stream more. TFT dies when people stop having fun more than anything else.
I think you're totally right. And part of the transition experience for me was realizing that they're correct. Like, I don't think it's correct to optimize for TFT the way that I enjoy it. I don't think that's actually what anyone wise would do in charge of the product of TFT.
Yeah. All right. That's a good one. Chat disagrees a lot, pretty heavily, but there are some people that agree. And I think there might be something like that, right? That's why there's obviously a me in the middle. We don't want everything to be so extreme just because we can tolerate. Doesn't mean we want to, right? Please, no more extreme mechanics that warp the game. But I'm always down for a good YouTube short rant. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. This is the last major segment of the show. We got the fantasy draft. And so you guys know the drill. Bryce this time said, let's do FFA. Let's not do 2v2. We've been doing some 2v2, a little bit of team fantasy drafting for regionals. But if you guys have never watched a fantasy draft, I'll explain it this one time. Give Bryce the night off. You have $150. You can draft up to 6 players. There are 32 players in the field. There's 4 of us, so 24 will be drafted. Actually, we could reduce it, but I kept the rules the same for the most part. You want to reduce the number of slots, Bryce?
Yeah, 5 each.
Okay, 5 each, and then we'll go back to $100. So we're going back to the old school version.
What do you guys want to do? You want to do 5 or 6 each?
I think scarcity is interesting. I don't think you should draft just for the sake of drafting people.
Cool. That's where I'm at too.
And it'll also help push the pace. So you'll have 5 slots for your team, and everyone will take turns putting up a player up for bid, and the highest bidder wins. But it eats away at your budget, and you need to at least spend $1 per player. And with that being said, I will once again roll the dice.
Bryce, you're actually about to get clear. I know this is your last. Is this your last draft?
This is the last draft.
Everyone's last draft. You are about to get cleared. I know my boy Phoenix is coming through.
Yeah,
all right. This so much more satisfying ending. We're full book ending. This started with Soju talking shit to me about how much more he knew about set 5 players on the Team Fight Talk show, and I'm getting Robin in the 1-1-1-1 lag 1 game, so he scored like 100,000 points, and you could take Robin's final day points off my team, and I still beat Soju in this draft. That's how bad this is.
I mean, you're not lucky. It's so simple as a 5.
It's going to be great to just run it back at the end. I'm glad.
Okay.
All right. Just please put up the first person to bid.
Okay, I want to pick myself, but like I'll pay 1 over the highest bidder, if that's fair. Like, can I guarantee myself?
Yeah, 94.
The way you do this, you have to just bid.
No, but like it has to be like realistic, man. Like,
so the problem, so what I would say is you should put yourself up after. We'll wait to put you up until after the other tier 1s have been established. How about that?
Okay, sure.
And then we'll price it off that, because this is our first draft going back to $100 in a while. So I can't give you a super accurate number of how much I think you're worth right now.
Yeah, let me actually just black this out.
Because last time I didn't give myself. Last time I actually drafted, I gave myself, and you won the draft because you picked me because I didn't pick myself.
That's correct. It felt really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to bid on someone else then, so start off.
Yeah, I'll take Milk for 35.
40.
50.
50? But bro, you don't have $150 anymore, man.
He knows.
Oh, that's fine.
I mean, he's going to keep going up on Milk, but I don't want to bid
51.
52.
53.
54.
55.
56.
No, it doesn't matter.
You say 57, Bryce?
No, I haven't yet. Sorry. You're good.
57.
Can you just let me have him 58?
I want to see you put up or shut up. You can have him for 60, 59.
No, 60. Okay. I mean, you said I can have him for 60, so you're not.
But I let Bryce can bid 61.
You didn't say anything about me, but I'll give him for 60. I'm all
get him, Bryce. Get him.
I mean, I do want to bid 61 because he's definitely bidding 62. But I think this is. It's been a while since we did a $100 draft, but this seems about right. I don't know.
Is it too low? I think. Oh well, no. 60 is like by far the highest on 100 we've had.
No, we technically
for
had
regional-
sold this
maybe
bid
for
90.
regional.
Regionals, no, because like the Sox
regionals,
here, I
yeah,
want to say
that's right.
Sox went for more than that. I don't
No,
remember
Sox went
exactly
for
what it was.
50s. He went for the 50s. 60 is very, very high. Digital
It's
is
high
correct.
for sure. Okay, I think it's fair. I'm down to give it to
Okay.
Sox.
Milk to soju. Going once, going twice. $60. Man, we just let him have milk for 60. I think we could have squeezed him for a couple more.
We definitely could have squeezed him more. The question, I don't want him to just take away his budget for fun. He would have paid 99 or 95 for him, whatever the max bid is, 96.
Yeah. Wait, actually, I think I messed up these formulas. Give me a sec. All right, Soju, you're up next to bid while I fix this real quick.
Spencer TFT
Spencer TFT.
for $1.
2,
3,
5.
6.
This guy's going up in once. 10.
What?
You thought you were just getting Spencer for free?
What is this? I'm broke. Wait, how much did you put? 10?
Yeah.
11. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's too late. I got him for 11 then.
Spencer going for $11. Going once, going
Yeah,
twice.
I think I'm good.
All right. Milk and Spencer. Man, are you just drafting the boys again? Is that what's going on?
No, this Spencer's actually good. It's just that he doesn't really play TFT. But the thing is, like, he could just ask someone who does play. It's fine.
He's copying Precedent's homework for sure.
All right. Bryce, you're up next. You just copy somebody.
Euso Lucas for $1.
5.
6.
And 7.
Okay.
7.
Oh wait.
okay.
I think you said you can have them. Oh.
7. I'll almost 7.
$7 on Lucas.
60, 71,
8.
20, $29.
Wow, three-way bid on Lucas. $8 on Lucas. Going once.
Wait. Can you wait? Wait. I need to look at the people that are.
Going twice.
Wait. Wait, how much? How much was it?
$8.
71, 29.
Man, this Soju guy.
Sold
You're not
to
gonna
Bryce. Sold to Bryce.
Wait. Okay, fine.
$8. I mean, it's not just you, but Dizzle could have also stepped in as well.
This is Wei-Jin Iverson tech, by the way. I have no idea, but Wei-Jin had very nice things to say about Lucas. Rated Lucas super highly. The only person who rated Lucas, and Wei-Jin Iverson rated him 5th. So I'm just down to bet that Wei-Jin is smart and that he knows something about him as a player and his capacity on the set or the patch.
The problem with Lucas, in my opinion, is that I think he might be like the most susceptible player to go 8th, and out of all the top Brazilian players, he has a very, very high 8th percentage.
I'm fine with that because I either want to win. If I don't win this fantasy draft, do I give a shit? So I'm down to play a little.
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. You have only one goal in this draft.
Yeah. Well, I guess I kind of have a sub goal. I got to finishing ahead of Soju matters as well.
All right. I will bid on. I guess we have to go kind of down the line here. I'm gonna bid on replay for 40.
45.
46. $46.
Man, those guys, they just get to get them for cheap because, like, I'm getting myself and Soju's broke.
Yeah, 46. Going
47.
once. 47. 48.
49.
50.
47.
52. Shut up, Soju.
53.
54. 52. 54. Going
I'm
once?
I'm good.
Okay. Going twice. Replay is on my team, which I think that actually kind of means that we should figure out where
So-
Soap's going to land here.
Yeah, you can just put up Soap right now.
I mean, can I just get myself over 55? Fuck it. Or do you guys?
Nah.
Would you actually buy me for higher? Like actually? You guys,
Oh, I
like,
would buy you
guys-
for higher than I'd pay. Than I'd.
But
bid on-
you
oh.
rank me
All right,
below
58.
replays. Like what do you mean? You rank me below replay, so like why are you gonna spend more on me than replay?
Oh, that's true. He's calling out your rankings.
Bro, come on. Like, if I had money,
I'm
you'd be
I'm even
58.
offering to pay more than replay, but you ranked me lower than him.
He let
I mean,
replay
I
go
did.
because of his draft position, not because he's the value, though. Because
That's true. That's actually very true for what it's worth. I wasn't gonna say that, but Dan's right. It's a. I now get Wasian for cheaper.
yes,
So
plus
so it
what he
makes
gets, yeah.
makes sense for me to pass on
Yes.
replay in that spot, but I would have paid up to probably 58 for replay in terms of like true value. And I think Milk is slightly overcosted at 60.
Okay,
So I think the true
58
value
agreed,
for you,
58
I think the true value for you
58
is 50. I think 58 is fair.
So.
Yeah, whatever, 58. I mean,
Okay.
All right, that's
I would
fair, that's
actually
fair.
spend like 94. I don't really care, but
Yeah, I think 58 is super reasonable.
58. Damn. Okay, I probably would have let 57 go. You should have stood up for yourself there, so. All
yeah, probably.
oh, I mean, like I had to convince I had to convince Price though.
Yeah, I think 58 is actually fair.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Soju, you're up next.
Robin, for I want.
For $1, two
Yeah, I'll see that.
$2, Robin.
I don't want to pay more.
$2, Robin.
3.
You just said you didn't want to pay more.
Oh no, I don't want to pay more than I have to pay. Like, if you guys don't want them for like, I'm not gonna say 10, and then you guys are only paying 8. So then I can get a good deal for 9. You know what I mean?
$4, Robin.
5,
$6, Robin.
7.
You said you're gonna go to 9, right? $8 for Robin.
Oh, that was just arbitrary, but yeah,
okay.
9. Yeah, no, it's not arbitrary. 9.
Let me cross this out. So this goes off the list. Ian review placed off the list.
I got Robin for $9.
No,
Okay.
what? Bro, you tried
Oh, wait,
to stall the like count for an hour. This guy's like, oh, I already got Robin.
Oh, you're just sitting there saying nothing.
Dan's thinking. I'm thinking. I can't tell if Soap's thinking.
Oh no, I am. I'm trying to figure out the rest of the squad.
Yep. It's 9 right now is the bid.
It's 9, yeah. 10 for Robin. 10 for Robin. Robin is underrated, right?
Wait, what is it? What's that?
10.
10.
10?
10 for Robin.
I need to figure out the rest of my squad. Hold on. Precedent.
You're not getting precedent. Don't even.
Can we pause Robin and then we vote on precedent first?
That's if only it was that was how it worked.
Yeah, like.
Okay.
I mean, I can just
what's
macro this out if you want, Soju.
It's
but
10. It's right, Dan. You bid 10.
I bid 10 on Robin.
Okay, I'll put 11.
Uh, 11 for Robin. Okay. Going once? Going twice? Okay, sold to Soju.
Robin is worth the same as Spencer. Can you explain this to me?
I think
okay,
you
I'm
overpaid
sure.
for Spencer is why.
I mean, you bid 10, man. I had to bid 11.
I actually like Spencer. I wasn't trolling. I
All right.
like Spencer.
I was considering it, but I have a vision. It's fine.
Okay,
vision.
Bryce, you're up next.
Michael for $1.
$2.
3,
4,
5.
6,
7,
8,
10.
11,
12.
You guys, we can count. This is wild.
13.
14,
I don't know when it's gonna stop. 15.
16.
17.
I mean, I can't even bid. Wait, what?
Yeah, you should have just 17 bid.
18.
$19. 19 on Michael. Going once. Going twice. Sold to me. Michael. 19. All right. I'm up next. Okay, I'm gonna bid on. Ooh, interesting spot for me. I'm gonna bid on.
Can you bid Wajin so Bryce doesn't just get to hoard all his money?
No, that'd be helping Bryce actually. I'm gonna bid on Philip for $1. Philip for $1.
17.
Oh, okay. I'm out. Bryce, dish up.
I'm out.
All right, Soju, Philip, $17. Big F. You believe in Philip that much, or is it just
Yeah, and I want him on my team.
It makes sense. Like you at that point, you have to bid 17 at someone. It's not a bad. Like if you like the player, then you just go for it.
I mean, if someone takes Phoenix from me for $1, like, come on, man.
Yeah, I'll let you have next.
All right, just so you're up next.
Well, he did, didn't you troll? Because like I have to bid 38 for Wajin, and then like you could have bid like at least 42.
No, he doesn't have money.
I don't have the money.
No,
I bid on Michael.
Because you should have spent on Michael. Because now you can't like actually give Wajin a competitive bid. And now
It was by a few dollars. Now, I mean, it just,
All that did was it improved my cost on Wajin by $4. So
true. Well, yeah, we just gave him $4. Okay, anyways, Wajin for 38.
39.
Okay.
Lucky.
Soju.
What? Oh, it's me?
Yes.
Oh, Phoenix for $1. Just let me have him. Like, don't just say you don't even want him on your team.
All right,
I'm
bet.
good.
I'm not contesting it.
Yeah.
So-
yeah. Okay.
Wait, what?
I mean, he's only been playing League with me. Like, he's not actually good. I just want him because he's my friend.
Wait, did they say Phoenix?
You said Phoenix.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
You guys are sleeping. Okay. Bro, when he gaps everyone. Huh?
Bro,
we want you to
Kalista
have-
is no longer the best comp in the game, man.
Okay,
He's
no,
cooked.
that's fine.
He is
The guy's a
cooked.
demon. It's fine.
Yeah, all right. All right, Bryce. If you said I shouldn't bid Michael on 19, then you shouldn't bid on Michael on 18 either, just so.
Oh no, because I knew you were gonna bet on him.
Oh, okay, I see.
Like
Yeah.
I'm
okay.
gonna go
like Soju should have bought him or something. I don't know.
Bruce for $1.
I'm out. Just so.
2.
$2 on Bruce.
3.
4.
5.
6.
7.
8.
10.
$10 on Bruce.
11.
12.
Ooh. This is the breaking point. Okay.
13.
Oh. All right. 13 on Bruce.
Hold on. I need to think about this for a little bit.
I'm out. So is whether or not Bryce wants Bruce for more than 13. 14 would probably be right. 13,
I'm
right?
good. I'm good.
Okay. Bruce 13. You bid on Bruce, right? Just right, Bryce?
Yes.
Okay, so it's on me. I will go for I'll just bid Precedent 25.
26.
Yeah, 27.
Yeah, I was just waiting for that.
Oh fuck!
You lost the
Oh, I
top.
missed the math on it.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
all
Wait,
right.
that's actually a really big deal.
It is. All right.
Want
Precedent?
him, buddy?
Do you want precedent for 28, Bryce?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I fucked that up.
28. Okay, Disso, you're up next.
Wait, can I just say real quick?
Yeah.
How can you have Lucas, Wajan, and Pressman and still have $25 left?
Because of replay and Milk and Disso went first. That's why.
Correct.
Okay.
But
But-
also, there wasn't appropriate defense played against the way that I was doing it from for the next player.
Okay, Dish Soap, you're up next, I believe.
Babzera 1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6,
7,
8,
9,
10,
11,
12, 12 for Babzera. Going once. Going twice.
I'm stopping.
All right. Babzera. Number 1 point earner from last set. This set, not nearly as hot, but often considered one of the best players from Brazil. All right, Bryce, you're up next.
Ego for $1.
14. I bid 14 for Ego Illusions.
Yeah, 1 second.
No, I'm just letting the chat know until you bid it up. What are you giggling about, Soju?
the way he said 1 second.
Yeah, I just have to hear the last 3.
All right, Ego.
I'll go 15. I'll go 15.
Okay.
I was gonna say, if you don't take him, I'm curious who you.
No, dude, he was in the. Yeah. I'm taking him for 15.
Okay, Bryce.
No, he's all yours.
Okay, Ego Illusions. $15. Who bid on him? Was it Bryce?
It was me.
Okay. This is me. This is me. Ripple Overdrive. Ripple Overdrive for $1.
14. That's it.
Okay. Dish soap.
Yeah, 1 sec. Again.
You're like trying this hard.
Well, the thing is, I know who my $1 is, so I'm just trying to figure out who's my $13.
You're sweating to get cleared. I just want to point that out.
Oh, so I can't wait for you to go dead fucking last.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm looking at my team. Like it's actually over.
You look at my team, look at my team, and look back at your team. I might be able to beat you with these 4 players. I don't even know that I know.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Just don't drop the fit then. I'm gonna make sure I don't message Phoenix at 4 a.m. anymore.
Bobster.
Oh, I love it.
1.
Then everybody wins.
Bobster for 1.
Bobster for 1. Bobster for 1. Bryce, you want him?
I'm really thinking about it. I haven't made up my mind yet.
Okay. Bobster for 1.
Are you passing?
Hello. Two on Bobster. 2 on Bobster.
3. Sure, 3.
Um, 4?
Yeah, does it even matter? Does it even matter? I guess it kind of does. I guess
It depends on what Bryce was. That's
Yeah,
like
okay,
the hardest
I'll
part.
lay him for 4 because then I just want to make sure I can deny Bryce, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Okay, so you let him go for 4. Okay, I got Bobster for 4. I mean, he's the number 1 pointer. That's pretty good. I mean, Bobster's yeah. All right. And we got who's bidding up next? Bryce, you're up next.
I'm next. Okay. What do I do here? Does Tish still care about denying?
It's hard because I don't know how motivated Bobster is because basically he has to just go not dead last, but that is also still worth thinking about.
I'll put up Relic for 11.
Okay. I mean, I can't outbid it, so this is whether or not you want Relic.
I mean, it's between him and someone else for me. Is my
Yeah.
So do you trust me or you more?
I think I trust myself more. I'll let it happen.
Right.
Great.
So we're letting him go?
So when asked about Ramblin', I really wanted him to be the last person on my team. He's not. He's not locked in. I really wanted to draft Ramblin' in this draft, but
You talked to him already?
I asked him. I was like, please tell me I can draft you. And he was like, I really can't. I was like,
Ramblin's decaying, and I don't think he's playing any scrims, so I just don't know if...
yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he really particularly enjoys the patch.
Yeah. Okay, Disso, you pick your next player.
I'll get Degree.
Okay. For 11. And then that's me, so I get to choose. There's 2 people. Actually, I'm pretty sure this guy is just underrated. I'm going to go with my main man, me first or 8th.
I thought that's who you go there. Who else
Yeah.
were you considering out of curiosity?
Huh?
I thought. Who else were you considering out of curiosity? Because I thought for sure that's who you're picking.
So, I actually think I think Black Sheep is actually not that bad.
And so final pick.
I wonder what happens if I take Relic there. I mean, Ferdinand probably goes for Degree, right?
Yes, it was basically
I like-
degree.
I think I was just hoping you didn't see me first, right? Because I would have voted him, or I would have taken him.
Was that your $1 guy?
That was like the $1 guy. That was the plan the whole time.
Oh, I see. I guess I'll technically bet $3.
Yeah, save that money.
All right. And this hope.
Okay. Like maybe just take Casper as insurance because if I do bad, he gets to flame me. But if he does well, I win the draft.
That is
something
true.
like that.
That is true. Except
So,
you
so the
guys,
insurance Casper.
there are some bonus kickers that you can earn some points back.
Wait, what's the bonus kicker?
The
Does it
bonus
matter?
kickers. All right. Question number 1. Which reroll defined by 1 to 3 cost comp has the highest AVP? We'll start off with Soju.
Wait, what? Why is
He's
it
asking a question about the game. He doesn't know. anything about the game.
Start on dish soap. Yeah, just start on dish soap. It's all good.
No, you can't copy just those homework. You gotta answer.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna copy him. I won't copy him.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Soju, what's your answer?
Oh wait, what? I thought dish soap was starting.
No.
Oh,
you-
I'm
you-
starting. Okay. Can you give me like 30 seconds?
Okay, what even qualifies as what even are the qualifications of this? Because there's some real lines that'll get played 3 times because of some certain setup, and they'll just win immediately.
Oh yeah, you're
we
right.
can set a number of games that we can agree on,
it has to be played
10
at least
games.
5 times.
Like
Oh,
10
Why don't you just do top in the top 10 most played?
Sure.
Okay, sure.
So it's like an actual line.
Sure.
All right, give me a sec. I'll be right back.
Told you, just answer. And the whole point is off the cup. He's fucking thing. He fucked up the thing. He fucked up the actual.
Wait, he actually just left. Wait, he went to. Is he,
call.
is he asking for help?
He's asking someone, man. He
All right,
literally
hello?
just asked people.
Yeah.
He's not even there. I think he's asleep or something. Okay, I'll just say Ari.
Okay. Soju types in Ari. Bryce.
Jinx.
Jinx. I'm going to go mages. Disso.
I feel like it just depends on who plays it, man. I think it's either Ari or Jinx. I'm gonna go. I think I'll go Ari. I think I'll go Ari.
Wow,
I think
copying
Ari is really
Soju's
high.
homework?
No. But the thing is, like, I'm pretty sure Jinx will actually be the best. But like, I think a lot of bad players play Jinx like really badly, like really really badly.
Oh.
So, chat is giving
What about Ari?
Dan shit for mages, saying it's 2. You have to commit to a version of mages, Dan.
Oh,
No, but I feel like,
Seraphine.
I feel like
Seraphine
you only
Soraka.
like play Ari for the high roll spots though.
Yeah. Seraphine Soraka. All right. Second question. Bryce, you start first. Will anyone not from NA win the tournament?
No.
No. The
No.
NA takes it. I'm also going no. Disso?
No, because I'm gonna win.
Wait, aren't you like
Soju?
rewarded for just saying no just because there's more?
Yeah, but like you
Wait,
can also.
well, I don't get it.
The way you can think about it is this is an opportunity for you to earn points on everyone else.
For Soju, for example, your draft is much worse than ours. So for you, you're actually incentivized to go contrary here and see if you can steal some.
Yeah,
Right,
like
so
this, if you vote
Wait,
no, you're
how
voting
many bonus points do we get, by the way?
10. It's 10 points per question.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. I mean, no, my draft is better, so I'm just gonna copy Digital.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Third question. This is on me. Do we have a repeat regionals winner? This applies to any region. So, for example, Eagle Illusions is a regional winner. Relic is a regionals winner. Michael is a regionals winner. So on and so forth. Dish Soap, Wage Iverson, Robin, so on and so forth.
Did Replay win his year or no? Who won
No.
that year?
Wait, this
No, that was QQ one.
2Q.
I'm just gonna go ahead and just say yes. I think Disso wins again. Boom. All right, Disso.
Wait, who's? Did you list everyone that's a regionals winner? I don't even know who won.
So I can go.
Oh, you
through
listed
it.
everyone.
I can do it. Disso won set 11. Milk won set 6. Robin won set 5. Wajin won set 9. Relic won set 10. Michael won set 9. Ego Illusions won set 6 or 7. All right, Disso, you're up next.
Okay, well, like the highest EV is obviously no, but like I'm just I'm just gonna bet on myself. Sure, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't even think the highest EV is no.
Okay, that's
I actually think it's
that's-
kinda
the
close.
highest
Like,
EV.
low-key.
The highest EV is definitely a no.
All right.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
but it's like kinda close.
Soju, what do you think?
Oh, I'll
baby?
put no.
No.
I'll put no.
All right. Bryce?
I'm taking yes.
Oh. All right. Soju actually went against the
It's
green.
like
Okay.
most of the. It's like many of the favorites.
It is. That's why I thought it was an interesting question.
It's a good one. It's a really
And
good one.
then the last one. One more time. Does Bryce beat K3 Soju yet again in fantasy? Yes, no, Dish Soap.
That is going to be like 95% yes.
I mean, let's see what Digital says. It's all good.
Yeah, let's get a poll.
I
here.
mean, yeah, he does. I think so.
What? Yo, you got cleared. Are you even looking at my team?
Soju.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. No. I put no.
All right. Bryce.
I mean, that's the easiest yes in my life.
All right. And I'm gonna go ahead and back up my main man. Yes.
Thank you. Oh wait, what? Okay, all right, never mind.
All right.
And this guy just scared me. Like he pinched on Wajin so he could price me out of Ripple.
Yep.
That is true.
Actually, yeah.
I got Ripple and Preston. My team is insane. I'm pretty sure that like the top I have like basic.
You do. I think I am worried about two things. One is that you do have pretty significant flame out potential. Like Wajin is notorious for like starting like 8-7 and has to bring it back, and one of these days maybe he just doesn't hit that comeback swing. Lucas has a high 8th percentage. That's the only thing. You do have some high volatility there, but I think your draft
True.
is good.
I think Wajin wins for what it's worth. If I had to pick
That's
one
your
person
pick for
to
your
make
regional
judge.
winner. You did. Interesting. Okay. This is how you feel about your squad.
That's pretty good. I was trying to get Ripple me first or 8th instead of Degree Casper. Well, I mean, that's fine.
Nah, that's okay.
We got Casper insurance.
I like it.
I like it. Oh man. Wow. Just like that, you guys. That was our last fantasy draft potentially ever. Make sure you guys tune in to the Tacticians Cup. Do I have a graphic for this? Let me see real quick.
Dan, even if the show doesn't live on, every once in a while, we should just throw together a fantasy draft right before tournament. It'd be fun as hell.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't actually prep this graph, but as you guys know, this weekend will be the Golden Spatula. Make sure you guys tune in. I also don't have the graphics, so I'm going to have to do this pretty janky, but I have special guests. T. Lides in the house. He's going to be flying into to Seattle this weekend. And Bryce and I will be holding it down the fort. The studio looks great, Bryce. I don't know if you saw the pictures, but it's going to be really exciting. We're also going to do something kind of new. We're going to do a TFT game show. It's going to be part of Regional's co-stream. So I hope you guys tune in a little bit early for that. Next week as well is going to be the World's co-stream. And our special guest is Mortdog. He's going to be here for most of the weekend. Asa is going to be helping me co-host and anchor down. He's going to drive up from Portland. And we're going to watch NA go back to back to back. It's going to be great.
Boom.
Wait, okay, I had a okay. This is gonna sound stupid. Never mind. I had a question, but then these guys started spamming Greg, and I'm trying to figure out what this emote is, and I forgot what my question was.
It's T-Lides, man.
It's T-Lides. It's his profile picture.
But why is it just called Greg? Oh, is his name Greg?
Yeah, that's why it's called T-Lides.
Oh, okay.
No.
Why are these guys spamming Greg? Okay, anyways,
that's just some accounts on Twitter, and he like looks like him. But I don't. His name is not Greg, I think.
His name is not Greg. The T. His name begins with T, and his last name is Lies. Then so.
I was gonna ask, where does T-Lides live?
Utah.
Yeah.
That's it's next to.
It has to be West Coast. I only know that because of basketball. Okay, so he's like kind of close to you. Okay.
Yeah,
I was about to say.
Ish.
Well, I mean, last set we had Kurum and Goobums, and they're from Toronto and Florida, so they flew all the way here.
Yeah.
But maybe more of that in the future, because Goobum said he's going to be retiring and joining more co-streams. So he said he'll try to do you proud, Bryce.
I have no doubt that he will.
This was a crazy long episode, but it's only fitting because it is our last preview episode. If you guys missed it, Bryce is retiring from TFT. I think I want to do final words, but it's kind of final words from Dishsoap and Soju to Bryce before we wrap up the show. So Dishsoap, why don't you go first?
Oh, I'm like really bad at this, but I mean, I've loved watching this show since its inception. Basically watch every episode. Watch the episode where I got ranked 15th in set 6, and I didn't even deserve it. But like it was like kind of hype to be ranked. And then like stuff like that just kind of motivates you. And I feel like it would be harder for me to like actually get as interested as I did in the competitive TFT scene if something like this didn't exist, and I'm just sad that it's gonna go. So hopefully this can, like, some form of this gets to exist some way in the future. That's all I'll say.
I agree. Thank you so much for spending your hard-earned or your very precious time with us, Dishsoap, especially given how busy you are. Soju, any final words?
Yeah, it kind of sucks that Bryce is retiring. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
you should unretire soon.
Well said. Well said, Michael. Man of
many words.
Yeah. Bryce, I will go as well, and then you can kind of play us off here. If you guys missed any part of this episode, you can always check out stuff youtube.com/@DTIYDK or check out our stuff anchor.fm/DTIYDK. It's been a really wonderful show. I'm starting to get a little emotional right now, so I was doing a good job keeping together. But Bryce, this show doesn't happen without you. I know that you say that I'm really important to the show, but I did this for entire 7 man without you, and it just wasn't the same. And I don't want to do it without you. So it's been a pleasure of a lifetime, and you're one of my closest friends in life. And I wish you the best in life, and I hope you come back soon.
I love you, buddy. Shit. Now I'm losing it. I kept it together too. I was gonna keep it together. I love
that episode. It's all good.
We do.
Yeah.
We'll have a proper goodbye later. It just feels weird doing the show knowing that the show is ending. And I I'm so glad that the last thing, I'll save my like final goodbye for the last episode. If I do it now, I don't know what the fuck I'll say next episode. And I still have a lot of emotional processing, to be honest with you. It's like this decision just kind of formally happened and just got announced yesterday. So I'll take some time and think about it. But I will say that I'm really, really glad that the last thing I will do in TFT is this show with you, Dan. And I don't know who the guests are. It's going to be hard to top Sochu and Dish Soap. You've been two of my favorite guests consistently over the history of the show. I really appreciate you spending the time and just being yourselves with us. It's so much fun to have you, and this show has been so much fun. So, you know, I was a TFT caster, and I loved that, and I was a player, and I loved that. But honestly, I think being a podcast co-host with Dan has been the true. If I had to pick one thing that I can't live without, it would be this thing. This is the thing that's the hardest to say goodbye to. So, many more thoughts to come, but I'm glad we have done this, and I will not regret 1 second of the outrageous amount of time we spent on the show. I told my wife that I would be ready for dinner at 6. That was like an hour.
Yeah, let's get you out.
No, it's perfect. It's exactly how I would want it. So thank you, everyone, for being a part of this. And I can't believe we only have one more episode left, but we're going to make it a good one. So you definitely want to tune in.
And with that note, we're out. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.